According to the News Tribune, crews had corralled 31 cats and kittens into crates by Friday afternoon, with several more still hiding in the boat's floorboards and inaccessible spaces.
Boy, I bet this thing's...
Oh, God.
Can you imagine the smelly cat urine?
No, I cannot. I don't think you can get cat urine out, can you?
I don't think so. Yeah. My aunt, my
she
great
a cat
aunt,
lady?
She wasn't a stereotypical like cat lady.
Did you ever date a Corvette guy?
No.
Okay.
No, my great uncle's a Ford pickup truck kind of guy.
Okay.
Like nothing else. But she had at one point 24 cats. Well, Brooke says that's a cat lady.
Yeah, that is. She had 24 cats.
Every time there would be a stray that like wandered into the yard.
That's a cat lady.
You go more than 3, it's a cat lady.
Yeah. You're either
24.
24.
I mean, you can't even count 24 in this
That's
shot.
a 2-deep roster there.
I know.
Yeah, it really is.
She's got All-American.
The whole signing class.
Yeah. We had Thanksgiving over there every year, and I'm allergic to cats.
Why?
Oh.
I mean, honestly, what did it smell like?
What did you serve? Fancy feast?
No. Some of the cats were outside cats only. Most of them were. But there were a handful that would stay inside.
Oof.
But
to answer your question, you can't get that smell out. I had a...
no, you can't.
We had an indoor-outdoor cat that one time pissed in my shoes that were out in the garage, and we just had to throw them away. I mean, that was it. That was the end of those shoes.
I'll tell you, man, even the dog smell, and you know, I got fortunate on the first few dogs I had. Italian Greyhounds, they just didn't have that dog smell. Ladybird didn't have that dog smell. But Bullet, coming from wherever he came from, he has brought that shit in with him, and he'll get it on the couch, and we have to clean the couch consistently all the time. And I don't know. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed when people come over because I don't know if I got the dog smell or not. And it's just a dirty-ass smell.
Yeah.
Ferrets have a weird smell.
I heard that. Didn't Rockstar used to... Was it ferrets he had that he said they
think
stunk?
he did, yeah.
Yeah, my grandmother kept ferrets, and, like, anytime you walked in, you'd be like, yep, that's that ferret smell.
Yeesh.
It's not like a bad smell. It's like not like the cat smell or like a dog pee
It's
smell.
Unique
it's
smell.
just very distinct.
What do you do with the ferret?
Well, I mean, like, they're real sweet. They'll cuddle up with you and everything. Not like a dog will, but, like, you can give them a little, like, sort of hamster ball to run around the floor in.
Do they have a personality?
They do.
Okay.
They're very mischievous. They like to get into things and start stealing and stashing them away under beds and stuff.
I say mischievous. Mischievous.
I never say that. I say mischievous. I think you can say it either way.
I'm sure you can.
It's like when a news anchor says details instead of details. Is what that reminds me of.
I don't know if I say that. Details. I get more details.
On a different
I think I say details.
That is Trash, presented by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Crack one on the golf course near you this afternoon. Matt Mascana, friend of the show, on Twitter earlier this hour says, the LSU Jayden Daniels saga takes another strange turn. Just a quick recap.
Never miss anything when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Welcome in. It is a Friday. Next Round. We are live. He's Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. Dunaway wrapping up a vacation. He will be back with us on Monday. Tyler, Scott, Brooks, all there in the back room. Follow us on social media at Next Round Live, Constantly content going out there. from Scott and Brooks, and sometimes Tyler. We always have that up at Next Round Live. LT, how are you on this fine Friday?
I'm good, man. I am a little worn down. You're dressed again for it. I don't understand this, and maybe it's the fact that I am not subjected to outside activity anymore in the summer because I used to run a lot.
Yeah.
And the older I got, I was like, I'm going to give up running. It's one of two things, cardio. It's Peloton or it's swimming. And so yesterday I decided to go play golf with you and our man Bo O'Neill, our president. I texted him last night. I was like, I feel like I've been beaten with a stick.
Yeah, you sweated more than almost any human I've seen sweat.
Yeah,
and your shorts were soaked.
I mean, so bad. There was nobody on the golf course.
Yeah,
I didn't see one other group playing.
I think we're the only idiots out there.
I was asking, we got about hole 3 or 4, where are the cart girls where we can get some cold Bud Light?
I think there were so few she might have taken the afternoon off.
We never saw a cart girl, and we did not get any cold beer till the turn. I only had 2 beers and 1 transfusion, and last night about 2 or 3 in the morning, I noticed I haven't taken a piss in hours. And then when I pissed, it was like straight up rust. It was like I had been in Vegas for 4 nights. And I didn't drink anything yesterday. It was just I was so dehydrated. And so I just made myself pound water all night. Anyway, moral of the story is I don't care. And I know you don't care if I'm playing with you or not because you're going to get out there. But I will not play again until October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need to get you one of those body armor IVs from the green room?
I mean, I think I'm okay.
It would have been good yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not exaggerating. I went through 3 towels.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah, he was drenched. Yeah. I've never seen a man sweat like this. We got a surprise this first hour, a surprise co-host who's bringing a surprise guest with him at the end of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and please welcome the legendary Ian Fitzsimmons, who will be sitting in with us this hour. What's up, Fitzy?
It's always a joy to come in to this show and my boy LT talking about it was like I was pissing rust.
That's what he said.
I've never heard that before in my life.
You know the color, though, right? Like, I forgot if I went Crayola, the box is 64, I think I'd go copper. But I'm not sure. Like, I think that's the closest shade to whatever was coming out of mine.
Orange, right? You know that? What's that? That sangria, whatever. LT's peeing blood orange out there on the golf course with Ryan Brown.
Yeah.
And by the way, hey Lance, that's an old man piss at 2:15 in the morning. That's what we call that, right?
Oh,
son of a. Yeah, we're getting old. I got to go wake up and take a leak.
It really is sad when you've got to watch your intake on beverages, like. Man, I can't have anything past 6 o'clock or I'll be up 2 times in the middle of the night. But that's what it was.
That is kind of sad when you get to that age, right?
Yeah, it really is. I don't know, Ian.
That's funny because it's true, dog. That's funny because it's true. Right?
It is true. But, we were at SEC Media Days, I think it was 3 years ago in your city of Dallas. I don't know. Dallas is hotter than Birmingham.
Well, the problem with Dallas, Fitzy, and you live there.
Dude,
the sun doesn't go down until like 9:30, so it never gets to cool off.
Ryan, I played. You of all people will appreciate this. LT, there's 0 chance you would have joined me. We went and played Tour 18. Now, Tour 18 is a course in Dallas and Houston. There's only 2 of them, and they are damn near exact replicas of the 18 best holes in America.
Oh, I've heard about this course. I thought it was only Houston. I didn't know Dallas had one. I have heard about it, though.
Yeah, 16, 17, 18's Amen Corner at Augusta. They've beaten every lawsuit from Augusta National, Pebble Beach, Firestone. I mean, you name it. They've beaten Sawgrass. The number 9 hole is the Island Green, right? But they beat them because they're like maybe a couple millimeters off with, the green
That's pretty
tilt.
funny. Okay, yeah.
So that, or they're 2 yards shorter in the fairway. You know what I mean? So... But I mean, like the Weeping Willow is there from Pebble. I mean, they have all the history of what great and shots were made at on every single hole and layout. Jack Nicklaus did this here, in 1962. Arnold Palmer did this here at Oakmont, in 1968. I went out and played this damn thing 2 weeks ago. When I say miserable, playing a course like that. LTM with you, dude. I mean, I was peeing nails, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I swear to you, I had probably 150 ounces of water and didn't take a leak. Not once.
That's when you know it's bad.
Once.
Yeah, that's when
So
you know it's
what
bad.
Because you're just sweating your ass off. Ryan Brown would have been in damn heaven playing this course, right? Oh, look at this. Oh, my God, we're playing Firestone number 16. This is where Tiger eagled in 1998.
I'm
and I'm over there going, just get me home, man.
I'm surprised
Get me the air conditioning.
Brown didn't play it 3 years ago when we were out there. What are the green fees and what's the demand to play this thing?
Well, I'll be honest. The fairways weren't what I expected, but the greens are pristine. So it was 120 a man. Public course.
Yeah.
Now you do have it's public private. You do have a membership and all. The clubhouse is unbelievable. But yeah, when you come up on that par 3 with Amen Corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a replica scoreboard, that they have to the left of the green, just like Augusta. You're sitting there going, on TV, this damn green doesn't look that thin.
That's right. It looks a lot bigger on TV.
It's like 8 yards, man. I mean, it's
know.
like nothing. And they're landing that subbitch right there, man. So, yeah, but when you're sweating your ass off, LT, I'm with you, dude. I mean, no, I'm out. Ryan, you love it. I did it 2 weeks ago. I refuse to play golf in the South because Dallas is hotter than Birmingham. It is hotter than Louisiana.
It is.
It is a damn blast furnace.
It is.
You wonder why I'm mountain shopping right now for a cabin somewhere in the woods in Montana.
Yeah. He's right. You visit Dallas, especially in the summer, and the only times I've ever well, I shouldn't say that. Most of the time I've been to Dallas has been in the summer.
Yeah, I would think the good news for Dallas in the summer is Dallas. The Cowboys still have hope, right? People are talking about like
the Rangers may or may not still be in it. Yeah. So yeah, it's the little things.
Yeah,
that's all you have.
Our man Bo is a big Cowboys fan, and he was saying yesterday, I think we're going to be 12-5, and you might be 12-5, but it won't matter. I mean, once you get the postseason, you covered the team forever. I mean,
dude, and Pete, I get ripped for this nonstop, Lance, and I can't agree with you more. And it's not just Dak, because everyone just blames Dak. For clock management against the Niners a few years ago in a playoff game, they can't stop anybody. But I will tell you this, man. Because I'm with you. It's in the playoffs, they're awful. Regular season last year was a miracle. They even won 8 games without being able to stop anybody. They averaged 28 per game, one of the best offenses in all of the NFL. But I'm telling you, folks, Caleb Downs is not. I had one assistant coach tell me 2 days ago out at Oxnard, where Cowboys training camp's going on. Caleb Downs is not just possibly a Pro Bowl safety as a rookie and an all-pro safety as a rookie. Let that sink in. That's how good this young man is.
Yeah,
he's gonna be nasty, folks.
It was in the Hall of Fame game, and I can't remember which analyst it was. Might have been Collinsworth during the game, but I was just kind of had it on in the background, and they were talking about so many. There's so many different analysts were mixed in there, and one of them brought that up. It's like, the reason I'm high on Dallas this year is, frankly, Caleb Downs. And I'm like, man,
telling you,
that is one player, a safety no less. But I've heard the same thing now. You heard it from a coach. I've just been hearing it in media reports that Downs set a tremendous camp.
When I say watch out, I mean, he's already mother effing dudes. You know what I mean? Like, when getting him lined up and this and that, he reminds me of, but a better version, Rashad Johnson at Alabama.
Yeah.
A zero, but Rashad was a 0-star, right? Coming out of whatever small town he was from in Alabama, and ends up being literally a quarterback for Nick Saban at safety. And it spent a decade, 11 years in the NFL. Obviously, most of it with Arizona. I think then with the Titans. That's Caleb Downs. He's getting guys he's the quarterback of that defense already as a rookie, kind of like Rashad was as coming in. I think it was a sophomore year. He became a starter and was a quarterback of that defense. He's getting it's almost majestic to watch how even before he's played a single game, he's the guy out there making sure everybody is lined up, and he's just different. Well, I'm telling you, it's going to be a different Cowboys defense.
Well, and Quentin Williams going to be a big part of that. I mean, the trade for getting rid of Micah now looks like the Cowboys won that trade, especially because he can't stay on the field. But Ian, being there, Cowboy fans are kind of conditioned to be disappointed what's amazing is a lot of Cowboy/Texas Longhorn fans. They should be conditioned to being disappointed too. But we were talking about this a couple of days ago. I think all Texas Longhorn fans believe it's either national championship or bust this year. Would you agree?
Yeah, but a lot of Longhorn fans, like I call them the whiny orange, because they think like, oh, look, Colt McCoy. He looks good right now at quarterback. That's Arch Manning there. Yeah. they're the biggest bunch of bandwagon fans. Either they're a diehard LT and they know the backup, left tackle, or they are just bandwagoners. I mean, there's no in the middle. There's no fringe fan. So, but look, man, Texas is loaded. And now when I say loaded, I mean loaded. And you got a guy who just tried out for the Cowboys and the Browns, now coming back to play offensive line, which I hate that. I can't stand it. Once you go pro, you go pro, right? But we have this loophole now in college football where we have one of their best offensive linemen from last year now coming back and adding depth there. They're better. They're so deep at running back. Well, we all know about they went and got the best damn wide receiver in the portal out of Auburn and Coleman. They're going to be damn good. And Colin Simmons might be, I'll ask you guys, I think he's the most underrated, least talked about badass in all of college football. For an edge rusher, man.
But it's still
Simmons
Texas.
is a bad dude. He's going to be a top 10 pick, and no one talks about it.
I get it. Nobody talks about Dylan Stewart either because it's South Carolina. It's a little bit different, but I don't disagree.
But at some point, to Lance's point, though, Fitzy, whether the fans are bandwagon fans or not, that program has, at least the perception is, Texas has all the resources you could ask for. Yep. They can recruit anybody they want to recruit. Texas high school football fills the coffers with great players, and then they were able to go out and get other players, and now with the portal, they're able to go get a Cam Coleman and a Hollywood Smothers. I mean, at some point, you got to win a national championship there or you haven't done your job. Now, that's crazy to say because they've only won one in the last, 50 years now?
2002. Well, no, 2005. Yeah,
the Mac Brown one, I think, is the only one they've won in like 50 years, so I don't know why we expect this, but I expect it.
Don't disagree, and they do also. Either whether the diehards or the ones that think that Colt McCoy is still playing quarterback, at Texas. So I don't disagree one bit. But think about this, guys. Also, I mean, Texas in this NIL portal world we're living in, right? They're giving out Lambos, USC, and Lincoln Riley. I mean, you can recruit. You're in Southern California, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the hotbed. This is a big, big year for Link. And full disclaimer, he's an old friend, man. But I'm telling you, this is a monster year for Lincoln Riley also. Now, Texas at least has been one play away, not once but twice, from getting to the college football national championship game against Washington, and then against Ohio State. I mean, those were remarkable ball games, and I called both of them. But man, SC's another squad where you look at it and go, why? Why aren't you able to contend year in and year out? Now, at least Texas is contending year in, year out. SC's a whole nother animal. They got to make a run, in my opinion, because it's SC. I mean, you're in the middle of a recruiting hotbed. And LT, I know you love the men of Troy, man. This is a year where Link told me at Big Ten Media Days, this is by far, bar none, his deepest roster. Now, he just lost the starting center, which sucks. But this defense is, in his opinion, the best he's had, and which isn't saying much when you think about the previous, 4 years. But why shouldn't they be making a run every year?
Yeah.
With all the tools, they're just like Texas to me.
Yeah. More on that in a moment. First, Ian knows this game. Couple sponsors. Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys, Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com is where you go. For our guy, Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys. You're in any sort of legal situation, Alexander Shunnarah is the guy you call first. Shunnarah.com. He's got more than 150 attorneys under one roof, more than 500 dedicated team members. He can help you with whatever you are facing. And boy, can he help. More than $2 billion recovered for his clients over the years. That's Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys. Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com. And LT just got him a brand new deck. Scott's about to show some deck picks.
Yeah, absolutely. Loving it. Again, I really didn't know who out there could do a really good job, who was reliable. I asked around. Our man Greg from Pell City was like, Michael Battle is the guy you need to call. I'm glad I did. What if your backyard became your favorite room in your house? At Mike Construction LLC, they believe a deck is more than lumber and screws. It's where birthdays are celebrated, families gather, friends laugh, memories are made. Every project designed with your vision in mind, built to stand the test of time, because they know you're not just investing in your home, you're investing in your lifestyle. Call Mike Construction today, 205-746-9901. That is 205-746-9901. Don't settle for an ordinary backyard. Build a destination for your family and friends, one they will enjoy for years to come. Again, Mike Construction, 205-746-9901. Tell them the next round sent you. I wanted to ask this real quick. So Texas, basically the state, won championship in 50 years. The state of Florida, I mean, if you count Tim Tebow's final championship and then what did we have? Florida State in 13, they've only had 2 in the last 20 years. Who will win a national championship first, the state of Texas or the state of Florida?
I'm going Texas. They're loaded this year, man. They're going to make a deep run.
Okay, but
guys.
think about it. You got Miami, Florida, Florida State. On the other side, you got Texas, Texas Tech, Texas A&M. I agree with you. I think the 3 Texas teams are already top 15 teams.
Oh, yeah. But in Texas Tech is a sleeper because Will Hammond can play. I mean, like the whole Sorsby thing, right, which was chaos. People forget that Will Hammond's a pretty damn good quarterback. So, and that roster, you guys know, man, you know, they're loaded. But I'm still going Texas because, again, Simmons, that O-line, you know, it's not just Smothers. We got 2 of the top running backs in the portal. They got Coleman. We all know about Arch. The defense is deep, but it all starts up front. And Kyle Flood's going to have that O-line ready to roll. I expect Texas to at least be in the college football playoff semifinal again, and then maybe they made that one play that they missed twice to get to the Natty. I mean, they're damn good. So I'm going the state of Texas over Florida.
I mean, it is crazy the level of expectation that Texas, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech all have at the same time. Like, I don't know, Fitzy, you encounter some A&M fans. I don't know that they're to the, hey, it's time to win the national championship line yet. Probably so. It's where most fans live. They're not there yet. Not there with Elko. I mean, they were in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah. But that fan base is just like they're I don't know. Aggie fans are different. Let's just say that.
Well, I mean,
you got the little Fauntleroy freaking ice cream guys on the sidelines. You know, I mean,
it's a weird deal.
The yell leaders,
yeah,
and
it's whatnot.
a weird
deal. Yeah.
Hey,
they're just different.
We were talking about Corvette guy Mike Elko. I don't think he could get behind the steering wheel. He looks like Corvette guy, but actually, our man at Texas, Joey Mack is actually Corvette guy.
That's right. He's got him one. His wife gave it to him. Scott showed us the photos.
It's his second one. She gave him one years ago. He's always wanted a vet, right? So he told me a couple of days ago that this is his second one, but he never had a candy apple red. I love that piece that he did with Reese, right? Reese Davis, where already asked him, all right, let's just go ahead. How fast have you gotten this damn thing up to? Where he felt uncomfortable. He goes, $129. But it actually drove better. See, LT, that's something you would do. I'm not taking a car 129 miles an hour. There ain't no damn way.
I said
I'm a truck guy, right? Ryan, you strike me as more of like me, like laid back. Just
me too.
Give me to the grocery store, give me to the golf course, and get me home, right? Okay. LT, you're the guy that would go and get a candy apple red vet and go, how fast can I take this bitch?
No, would not happen. But I will tell you this: what's interesting? Can you imagine if that was Kirby Smart and he was like, I got it up to 129?
Oh, no, that would be sick.
Oh, my.
Yeah, no way Kirby could ever say that. Yeah. Kirby would have a Reese, I go speed limit and speed limit only in this
Only you, LT. Yes. Yeah. Only you.
Yeah. Reese, you see that sign right there that says 45? I do 44 just in case. Yeah. Just in case it's not calibrated properly. I do 43.
This is what's great about this sport. Not only do we have...
If Reese would have do a ride along with Kirby,
I know.
he's in a Camry. right?
Yeah.
He's the Camry.
Kirby's 10-2. Kirby's 10-2. He turns on his hey Fitzy. He turns on his turn signal and he does the hand signals out the window just to be safe. Yeah,
Tesla auto drive only.
I mean, Kirby would, if Reese did the ride along with Kirby, it would be the safest car ride in the history of car rides.
Hey, LT, you bring up autopilot. Ain't no way, after what Kyle Shanahan just went through, there's no way that I'm getting in a car on autopilot. And I had a
Wait, was that involved?
That was a Tesla?
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I did not know that.
And he was driving the Tesla?
Yeah, you didn't see this
No,
story?
no. I mean,
Yeah.
we knew he was
Kyle
involved,
Shanahan's
obviously, in a terrible accident. We knew about the accident, had no idea there was a self-driving
He
car
was on
involved.
autopilot, like
Ooh.
going through film or whatever, or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it may be. And yeah, the autopilot T-boned somebody else.
Oh, no.
I almost had a Waymo just crash my ass 2 days ago. Would you get in an autopilot?
Oh, I've been in I've been in a handful of Waymos.
Yeah, I've been in a Waymo with Lance.
Yeah.
Hell no. No,
Yeah.
no, and no. No way.
I had
doing it.
no idea that was a
Yeah, I didn't either.
Tesla.
Wow.
Okay, hey, so let me
All
ask you.
lines are open. Would you get in a car going on autopilot?
One of the things we love about college football is there's always crazy ass stories that pop up. And Brown started the show yesterday with this nasty divorce between Jayden Daniels and LSU. I'm looking at the headline today. DJ Pickett won't budge on number 5.
He's keeping 5.
Amid the Jayden Daniels
Daniels
LSU.
is like, I'm suing their ass.
Yeah, I can't believe.
My name is. Neither one's backing off.
I mean, first of all, I think it is funny this DJ Pickett kid's just going all in. I can't believe Jayden Daniels is this upset about this, Ian. I mean, this seems pretty silly.
All right, 2 things. One, Brian Kelly is still crapping on LSU because he's the one that promised the kid, right, they could wear 5, then didn't honor the recruiting promise to give him 5. He wore 3 last year. Yeah, so that's number 1. This all starts with Brian Kelly. Number 2, imagine an NFL rookie going, no, I want that number.
Abdul Carter did it.
Abdul Carter tried it, and he tried it with Lawrence Taylor's number. Abdul Carter did.
Yeah, I mean, who was it? Devontae Adams told the story when he went to the Jets, right? It was a rookie that had 17, and he brought $17,000 in cash and a duffel bag. And the rookie was like, no, man, I want $1 million. And Devontae went to the GM going, give me 17. Next thing you know, 5 minutes later, 17 is taken off of the rookie's locker and put in Devontae Adams' locker.
Well, he's lucky it was that simple. I remember.
What are you kidding me?
You remember Robert De Niro
going to Pickett here. One, it's Brian Kelly's fault for promising a high schooler a number, right? And 2, you got some stones on you, kid, to demand the Heisman's winning number, right? And Jayden Daniels. 3, Jayden, you ain't Burrow, because Burrow and that 2019 squad. How many forget top 25, how many top 10 teams did they beat that year? I think they went 7-0 against top 25. I think 5-0 against top 10. I'm going off the top of my head. And oh, by the way, not only did he win the Heisman, he won it all. So 9 won't ever be worn again at LSU until Burrow says it's allowed to. And I think Jayden is being a little petty with the number 5. So it all starts with BK, then the arrogance of a high schooler, and then Jayden Daniels getting a little butthurt because they gave his number away when he won a Heisman at LSU.
It was a shitty movie, but you remember Robert De Niro cut the arm or the skin off of Benicio del Toro to give
number 11, right?
Yeah, to give that number to Wesley Snipes. Such a bad movie.
Awful movie.
2019 wins at number 9 Texas, against number 7 Florida, against number 9 Auburn, at number 3 Alabama, against number 4 Georgia, against number 4 Oklahoma, and against number 3 Clemson. 7 top 10 wins.
That's ridiculous.
In a singular year. That's pretty crazy.
You ain't Burrow, dog.
Yeah.
They did. I mean, and Jamar Chase and Cushenberry and everybody else on that squad. Sorry, man. That's 15 and 2019 LSU is, to me, in the last 25 years, the best college football team assembled.
I think the crazy part is the 2 best teams, I think, of the last 25 years are 2019 LSU and 2020 Alabama.
Yeah, I would go those 2 and then maybe 2001 Miami.
Yeah.
I think you could, that roster is what they got in the NFL. But I think 19 and 20 back-to-back, if we could have seen that game.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, bodies on the field, right?
I
mean, it'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. I'm with you. By the way, last night, pivoting a little bit, I just, because I'm watching a highlight right now of it, Schwarber going deep into the corn. You guys enjoy the Field of Dreams game?
Didn't watch a single at bat. No.
Yeah, I'll put it this way, Ian. I was on Netflix last night, and I saw it. And I went right by it to watch a movie, a Michael Mann movie from 10 years ago called Ferrari with Adam Driver. So I skipped Field of Dreams to watch Ferrari.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
it looks like
I think the NHL does a great job with their outdoor game, right? Like having the Red Wings play the Blue Jackets at Ohio Stadium. 90,000 people freezing cold. Hell, sign me up, man. I'm all about it.
All right, Forrester.
The NBA would be smart, like Rucker Park. Let's go to New York and where Earl the Goat Madrigal and Lou Alcindor went at it. That'd be awesome. I love the Field of Dreams game. I'm shocked. One, it's not a great movie. It's a good movie. It's not a great movie. I
agree. You know what we need?
We want to have a catch. It gets me every time. I have a little tear, right? But other than that, it's a good movie. But that scene last night was awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Ryan, LT, doesn't surprise me you passed up on it to go watch a movie. Ryan, it surprises me that you didn't even give it a thought because you're kind of a nostalgia guy.
I watch preseason NFL football instead.
Yeah. I had that out of the side TV. Hey,
you got to have more than one TV, Rhino.
Yeah, I was upstairs.
So Brown, do you think it would be a good idea, maybe a college program one time play a game in like another iconic venue outside of their stadium?
That would be pretty cool. Like if there's a historic iconic venue. Yeah.
I know where you're going with that.
Yeah, maybe we think of some later. All right, Fitzy going to hang around with us. He's bringing a guest to the table. We'll tell you who that is in just a second. NASCAR coming back to the Talladega Superspeedway, though. 877-GO-TODAGA, 877-GO-TODAGA, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com for the Yellowwood 500 weekend. Reserve your spot right now in the grandstands, in the infield, the camping area, the garage experience, the most immersive in NASCAR by calling 877-GO-TODAGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Get all the information right there. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Yellowwood 500 weekend at Talladega. 877-GO-TODAGA. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, if you're in the market, new or pre-owned, whether it's a car, SUV, or truck, go see our friends at Hoover Toyota, conveniently located Highway 150. When you stop in, see Scott Peoples, that great staff there, tell them the Next Round sent you. They've been rolling out that red carpet program for over 2 decades now. They want to retain you as a customer for life. I'm speaking from experience. Got my daughter in a Hoover Toyota back in 2024. I got in one this past October. Absolutely loving it. Safety, if you're looking for something that's going to hold its value, something that is reliable, that is the definition of Toyota. To view their inventory and more information on that on-site finance department online right now, HooverToyota.com.
All right, Fitzy, coming up in the next segment, your buddy Dan Lanning going to join us. We're going to chat with him just a little bit. You got any comment on that, Fitzy? You can go ahead and say it.
No. I thought it was a good toss to break.
Oh, okay. I can toss it. I was just going to let you go. All right. Hey, by the way.
You're good.
Nope,
hey, we'll try not to embarrass ourselves with Coach.
We'll try not to. Coming up in the next segment, our chat with Dan Lanning, head coach.
You're a pro, Ryan.
Head coach of the Oregon Ducks on the Next Round, presented by Bud Light.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA and enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. The Innisfree Countdown to Kickoff, 15 days away from the start of college football. That's countdown to week 0, 22 days into that first Saturday of college football. Innisfree Irish Pub, your game day location, whether it's Lakeview or the Strip in Tuscaloosa with that Irish gold sauce and the great cold Bud Light. Innisfree Irish Pub, 15 days away. Fitzy's been to Innisfree Irish Pub once or twice, or 10,000 times.
Open that sucker, man. Are you kidding me?
I know. You were there day one, weren't you?
Damn right.
Do you
1998.
Yeah. When will you start getting your assignments for this fall? When will you know where you're going to be? Do you know yet?
We had the first few. Clemson, LSU, man. Right off the lane train.
The lane
right
train.
Off the get-go.
Yeah, Fitzy, I have been close. Lance will tell you. I'm trying to talk myself into a Clemson upset in that game, and I know that goes against the point spread. It goes against
what's the number? What's the number right now?
I think it's LSU 6. I'll check it right now. I would love to see it.
That's a monster number if it's still 6. I thought it came down.
Here's my thought on it is, all the focus on Kiffin starting at, his time at LSU. Everybody just assumes that's going to be the lane train on his way to some sort of championship. Nobody's given,
I got to see it.
I do too.
Brian, I'm with you. I got to see it first, man.
Yeah, and Dabo's right where Dabo wants to be.
We're talking to Lanning about chemistry, right?
Yeah,
and how hard it is, but he's found a unique way to build it there at Oregon, and man, how quickly has this LSU team come together?
9.5.
9.5. Chad Morris coming back to Clemson, I think is one of the more underrated and not talked about enough stories in college football.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I don't know, and 9.5 is the official number right now, so it's even bigger.
9.5?
Yes.
That tells me Vegas is begging you to take Ryan Brown's Clemson Tigers.
Unless people are teasing LSU to +0.5.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think it's either going to be an LSU dick whipping or Clemson pulls off the upset.
One or the other, huh?
You just went Richard on me. Dude, Lance, you brought up a comment the other day about most hated, whatever, despised, the list. I can't remember what it was, right?
College sports biggest villains, college football's biggest villains.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Ryan McGee's outstanding column.
Yeah.
We did it on our show, but Ryan, you almost damn fell out of your chair when LT goes. When Dunaway brings up the Rose Bowl committee and LT drops what a bunch of pretentious dickheads. What?
They are.
I'm like, these are just
only you would describe a group of humans as pretentious Richards, right?
I know. That was Lance. I'm like, these are just LA businessmen trying to get back to the community. And Lance just absolutely roast them.
And by the way, you're right. But damn, just to call it out there, only you, Lance. Only you, dude.
Yep.
God almighty.
My biggest concern in that game for Clemson, though, Fitzy, is Chris Vizina, the local kid. First start, Death Valley Tiger Stadium at night.
Hold on now. He played at SMU last year.
Yeah, played well.
First start is the
really well. I mean, it wasn't his fault they lost that game. He played his ass off.
First start is the full-time starter at LSU Tiger Stadium night game. That's a lot to ask of a guy. But you're right. Maybe that one start. Yeah. Maybe that one start. So where else you going? What do you have week 2?
Week 2, you guys will love this one. Oklahoma at Michigan.
Ooh.
Yeah. We talked about this game yesterday.
Lance.
So we got Mateer all yoked up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You know, and bodybuilding quarterback at Oklahoma against Kyle Whittingham, who doesn't hate Ohio State.
Yeah.
Which I have no problem with him saying that. That's just wit. You know, I've known him 25 years. Yeah, he played at BYU, coached at freaking, the other color, right, at Utah for over 2 decades. They just wanted to whip their ass. You know, that's all he wanted to do was go back and beat his alma mater's butt. But he wasn't going to rip them. So, as he said yesterday, what was it? Wood said, "What? Because I don't hate Ohio State, does that mean that I don't want to beat the hell out of them? Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But is it going to help me win a game if I hate them?
I think it's
say I hate them. No, it's not.
Pretty refreshing to hear a coach actually be honest and not have to force that answer. Hey, you brought up.
By the way, another Richard whipping coming up in that game, according to Lance yesterday. Richard's going to get whipped in that one too, and Michigan's the Richard.
Yeah, I do like this Oklahoma team a lot, but my one concern, well, 2 concerns. We haven't seen the offense pop ever under Brent Venables. But you brought up John Mateer in that build, and I brought this up a few weeks ago, and then I saw an article either last week or this week about it. You don't see quarterbacks that look like that. Like the last quarterback that had a big-time season that looked like that was Tim Tebow. Yeah. Like, does that concern you at all that he has gotten this bulked up?
Word is that his throwing motion's back. I mean, from the time he hurt that thumb against Texas, and he was kind of shot putting and came back early off that injury last year. Now his natural throwing motion is back, and that's the guy we saw at Washington State. That's the guy we saw early on at Oklahoma. I'm not worried about the build. Jim Nagy, it's got 4 Super Bowl rings. He's a GM there at Oklahoma. He knows what a quarterback's supposed to look like as far as throwing motion. As long as the motion is fine, I don't care if he's got muscles in his earlobes. I don't give a damn as long as it's fluid, and by all accounts, it is fluid. But, I mean, I can't wait to watch Bryce Underwood, guys. That's a dude who has flown now under the radar, right? I can't wait to see Bryce Underwood in person again. I saw him last year against Wisconsin at a decent game. They ended up winning. They were bowl team last year. But I'm excited to see him take that next step.
I agree. I was watching last night. It was so weird. We had blackout situations on the NFL Network, which I didn't get. I don't know if you experienced this, Brown. But like for a minute, Green Bay, Pittsburgh was blacked out, and then Tennessee, San Francisco was blacked out. You couldn't get them at the same time. So on my top TV, I had the best Fox games of the year, and they brought on Utah BYU. And I was watching Devin Dampier run it all over the field. Now, BYU ends up winning that game. But Jason Beck, the offensive coordinator, what he did for Devin Dampier, now coming in with Bryce Underwood, this kid, he's got the look. Now he's got to prove it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But I'll tell you this, also about Michigan. A Kyle Whittingham coach team, you guys know, they're going to want to just beat the hell out of you physically in the trenches. And I know he's only had basically half a recruiting season and one portal window. But I promise you, they will be calloused and ready to go on the offensive line and the defensive line. That's a Kyle Whittingham coach team.
All right, we're going to hear our interview with Dan Lanning. We spoke with him on his way into the facility earlier. First of all, though, before that, Lance is going to tell us about Odie's. Is that an institution you've also been in, Fitzy? You ever been in an Odie's?
My daughter Rowan had her third birthday at Odie's.
How about that?
Yeah, a third birthday party. Lance, you were there.
Well, yeah, I was. Yeah. Do you believe in the butterfly effect? And the reason I bring this up is the three of us, Dunaway's out, but the three of us probably never do a show. So in 2008, I think it was, Ian's wife, Kitty, decided, hey, I want to go back to Dallas. Ian had an opportunity to go back to Dallas, so they take off. I remember he came and knocked on my door. He was like, we need to have a cocktail. We sat down. He's like, I'm leaving. It led to us. But then it also led to me hosting Odie's Team Trivia for 17 years. So
that'll take years off your life.
Well, it caused a divorce. So we've got a divorce, and we've got the three of us together. The butterfly effect of Odie's and Ian leaving.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So Odie's Tavern, great live music Fridays and Saturdays.
Trivia, it's packed now, folks. It was like 4 tables when we started. Now it's like I feel like stadium seating when I went there, for SEC Media Days, man. It's insane. Give me the Diablo sandwich any day of the week or Rodney's burger, and I will. And that slaw, I'm in. I'll destroy it.
Yeah, Rodney Davis has been doing it for almost 4 decades. Get in live music tonight, tomorrow night. Ice cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light. Great place to watch the NFL preseason. Stop in, see Will Haver, that great staff. Birmingham institution, 2 locations. The original Crestline, newest location in Edgewood. It's Odie's Tavern.
And Urology Centers, Alabama, UCA. That is where you go for your urological health. Everything from kidney stones to vasectomies and anything in between. Urology Centers, Alabama.com to find a location nearest you, or 205-930-0920. Urology Centers, Alabama.com, UCA, 205-930-0920. Earlier this morning on his way into the facility there in Eugene, Dan Lanning, nice enough to give us about 8 to 10 minutes and chat up the Oregon Ducks with us. And here's our buddy Ian Fitzsimmons starting that interview now.
Coach, it's almost here, man. And having been around your camp, and we appreciate
you guys, by the way.
The next round with LT and Ryan. You're a player-led squad, man. Take people behind the scenes because it's something unique. When you have an alpha at every level, what does that do for any coach, especially in college football, when you've got that leader, you're a player-led squad?
Yeah, I just think everything becomes addressed together, right? It's not coaches and players. It's not us versus them. It's ultimately it's our whole group, and you get to start bringing things to your players. Hey guys, how are we going to handle this situation? This guy was late. Hey, is this the way you guys want team run to look like? This isn't the way I want it to look like. Is this the way you want it to look like? All right. So I think you just start to give some things to your players, and they take ownership of it. And once you start creating ownership, all of a sudden they're the guys standing up in front of the team, talking to the team. They're the guys after practice that are holding guys accountable. So that's what you hope to create, and it's got to mean something to them for that to happen, and we're starting to create a little bit of that around here.
Now, Coach, this is a compliment to what you have built, but the three of us have been in media for a long time, and we know the media sucks at picking. I've been looking at all these brackets, and I see a lot of guys out there having Oregon winning the national championship. Again, compliment to what you've built there and the talent that you've got on campus. But would you rather be somewhat under the radar, or do you take this challenge and you're like, hey, we're the hunter now?
I mean, yeah, I guess I'd always love to be picked like 137th or whatever it is. But I don't care, right? I just don't. I don't want that seeping into our guys' minds or thoughts at all. And to think that that they don't see it would be dumb on my part. But for them to realize, hey, here's how it happened. You created those expectations. You built what people think. Right, you're the one that's actually in charge of it. Nobody's picking any of these things is going to play it down for us, right? It's really about the guys that are in this room and on that field to create those expectations.
Coach Dan Lanning with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. Why has the move to the Big Ten worked so well for you and for Oregon? You're 2 years into this, a couple years into this, and it has gone very well. Why so?
Well, I think at first for us it was, hey, obviously Pac-12 was pretty cool. It was an awesome conference. There were some historic games in there, but it wasn't the Pac-12 anymore. It changed. For us, it was like, okay, we have to find a place that has stability. And I don't know. I think everyone realized, okay, Oregon, USC, UCLA, Washington, this is going to be really good for them to join the Big Ten. I don't know if people realized how good it would be for the Big Ten that we joined too. And I think it's just been a really good marriage where you talk about coast to coast, from recruiting to football, high level football, and obviously great academic institutions and some not young to create some new games that I think everybody kind of has circled on their radar. That's like, wow, we never got this before, and now we get games like this. So it's created a pretty cool league, and it's certainly been fun for us. Yeah, the travel's a little bit longer sometimes, but we're fortunate and blessed enough to be able to travel well, and it's made it a ton of fun for me, and it's certainly made it a ton of fun for our players. And I think it's given, the schools out here on the West Coast some exposure across the nation that we've maybe always received, but we're maybe receiving it at 10 at night, rather than, getting to see it in the middle of the day.
Hey, Coach, when we sat down at Big Ten Media Days, I thought you had a phenomenal explanation as to how you've been able to continue team chemistry with guys, constantly coming into your team with the portal, and you're able to retain a lot of players, but you still have guys that leave every now and then. Elaborate a little bit more on that, for people who may have missed it, how you guys do something unique out there at Oregon and building that team chemistry in this portal world that we're living in today.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see it more and more across college football. I think coaches in general are starting to recognize, I don't think that the portal has to change the way you coach, but I think you got to realize you're dealing with people, and that's really important. And retention is probably the most number one priority for us, is making sure we keep, the right players on our team. And you don't win every single battle, but for us, we've been really lucky. You're going into year 5 here now. We've never lost a starter in the transfer portal. So I think that says a lot of things. I think that tells that these guys enjoy being here. They feel like they can win. They're being developed. They're taken care of. I think if any of those things aren't happening, you're going to see guys move on. So we've been really fortunate from that piece. And I think the other piece is we really do try to create that connection, Right now we're in the middle of fall camp, but we're doing the Duck Olympics at the same time. It's something we've done every single year that we've been here, right? We're taking the time to go do, barbecues in the middle of fall camp. We're taking the time to go to coaches' houses over the summer. Took a small group of players to Tokyo this summer. So there's just a lot of things that I think we look to fill time with beyond football, and creating guys beyond football, because it's a piece of it. But ultimately, the biggest pride we'll have is what kind of men these guys become in the future, and husbands and fathers.
So I've never been to Eugene, but Autzen on a Saturday is definitely bucket list for me. And I ask this with all seriousness. Yeah. When you're walking across campus, when you're, around the stadium, what do you think the percentage of people on campus that wear Nikes is?
It's got to be high. Yeah,
is it more than 50%? And do you ever have anybody that walks into your office and you're like, what in the hell are you wearing? Why are you wearing Pumas?
I mean, I'm trying to think. Fitz, have you ever made that mistake?
Yes. You're going to call me Under Armour, man. Yeah. Kevin, I went to high school with Plank.
And what was said, Fitz, what was said, Fitz, when I recognized that mistake?
Dude, he jettisoned my ass out of the building.
Well, you had it coming.
Understandable. That's holy ground.
Like to say that it happens every once in a while. I'd say people hear about it when it happens. It's communicated. I'm rocking my Nikes right now. They're my favorites, man. It's hard not to.
Yes, I could believe that.
Hey, so speaking of that, I've just got to randomly ask you
for that. By the way, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Thanks for bringing that back up.
Well, because you were in Athens with Kirby for a little bit. If I asked you who is the bigger man on campus, that legacy, would it be Herschel Walker in Athens or Steve Prefontaine up there in Eugene?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll tell you what, Prefontaine is celebrated here, and to the highest degree. But obviously, you're talking phenomenal people that made huge impacts. I think I would say that Prefontaine changed the running world more than anybody else. And while Herschel was an unbelievable player, I don't know that he had the same impact on his sport.
Coach, we every day on this show do an Innisfree countdown to kickoff. It is 15 days today to week 0. Now, you spent some time in Tuscaloosa. Nick Saban worked you too hard to go to the Innisfree, but I know you know that place well. 15 days away from week 0. It's got to seem like summer just fly. I know it flies by for me with kids that are going back to school. I can't imagine for a college coach how much it must fly by.
That time you get with your family, but in the back of your mind as a coach, you're always sitting there saying, "Man, I'm anxious to get back on the practice field." And it's that double-edged sword where you want to enjoy every single moment of it and spend as much time as you can with your crew. But there's certainly those moments where in the back of your head you're like, "All right, day one, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?" And it's fun to be back. It's good to be back practicing and rolling.
I'm sure it is. Coach, we appreciate the time. Good luck this season. We look forward to seeing you guys out on the field soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
That is Dan Lanning, the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, with us. Now, Ian Fitzsimmons has been with us this hour as well. You guys know Fitzy. He doesn't need any more of an introduction than he's already gotten. But for those that don't know why Ian might be in Coach's office wearing Under Armour shoes and not Nike shoes, which obviously, to your question, was a faux pas, and why he and Lanning might be tight. Ian, do you want to give us the backstory on why you and the Oregon coach are boys now?
Man, I've known Lanning since he was at Alabama, going back to 2015.
Yeah, it's been a while.
GA, and he and his family used to come in Innisfree. Trip Rogers, my old partner at Innisfree, would give the GAs, hey, bringing the family in, chicken fingers with gold sauce, whatever, just to help out. They're making like $30,000 a year as young GAs. Then he was a part of the original Coach's Corner with Loxley, and that crew, and we just stayed in touch, man. I mean, he's just a great human. You can see why he's a phenomenal recruiter, and he's built an SEC type team out there at Oregon. Think about this, guys. Every year he's lost in the college football playoff has been to the eventual national champion.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't been close.
Yeah, the problem is they've been pretty one-sided, and that's the gap he's got to close. I mean, he would tell you that.
Oh, in a heartbeat, you know. I mean, we forgot to ask him about this, but Jordan Davison, which knowing Lanning, he wouldn't probably wouldn't give us a lot of detail there, but they're deep in that running back room. But losing Davison and LT, I'm going off the top of my head here, 15, 16 touchdowns
probably
last year?
Yeah, and I was talking about the depth. I mean, Mekhi Hughes, one of my worst predictions of last season. I was like, Mekhi Hughes, the production he put up at Tulane, coming into this Oregon offense, he's going to lead the nation in rushing. And he got in, I guess, Lanning's doghouse. I think he had 17 carries the entire season.
He got beat out by these two young dudes, right? I mean, he got beat out. And they paid him $750 to go there, and he's no longer an Oregon Duck. That's how deep that running back room is. But Davison's still a talent. But I mean, having been out there and they allowed me to be, as I mentioned, I was kind of embedded with that program for 5 days. If you ever have the chance, guys, one, their facilities, as you can imagine, and they're now building a new state-of-the-art indoor. It's insane. I mean, it really is. But it's nuts.
There remains this perception in this part of the country, though, that there's an appeal to him to always come back and coach in the SEC at some point.
No.
You don't think that exists?
He loves it. You would have to pry him out of there with a crowbar.
Yeah.
I mean, the jaws of life. He absolutely loves everything about Eugene, whether it's, you want to go float the Willamette, river. You can go hiking. You got the Pacific Ocean an hour away. But you also have just bleep you Nike money. And they've been that close, right? The last few years. This is the year. Look, they had to put a squat restriction on Amari Washington. Did you guys read Bruce Feldman's Freaks?
I saw that, yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Bruce Feldman's Freaks. It's a must-read for any college football fan. It's awesome. The snake handler. LT, you love the fullback from Hardy University who dives into snake-infested waters and comes out with handfuls of poisonous damn snakes. I mean,
that's weird.
That dude's a freak, right? And a hell of a ball player. But Lanning said Amari Washington, the big defensive lineman at Oregon, they had to put a squat restriction on him when he got to 800 pounds. 800 pounds.
Jeez.
And he did it twice.
Got to squat a car.
Twice.
Yeah. Before Ian goes, let's walk down memory lane again. Did Ian ever do bullying and bragging? You think it was that post Ian?
That was post Ian. Yeah, first bullying and bragging was 2011. Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, we just missed you.
Hey, but look,
I missed bowling and bragging. I missed bringing the stripper to the stage.
You did miss that.
That was a classic.
Yeah.
But trash will always be a part of my life forever.
Well, hey, mark your calendars. First college tailgate party of the season, bowling and bragging. It will be coming up a week from this Saturday, 8 days away, August 22nd, 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. right there in Crestline Village near the O'Neill Library in Mount Brook, about a wedge or a 9-iron away from our man Odie's Tavern there. This annual event benefits the critical care transport team at Children's of Alabama. For more information,
that's awesome.
Visit bowlingandbragging.org. We will have the folks from the critical care transport team in studio with us, giving you more information on this event. But write it down or mark it down. Next Saturday, the 22nd, 6 to 8:30, Crestline Village. It is Bowling and Bragging. For more information, bowlingandbragging.org.
All right, Fitzy.
I'm going to fly in for that bad boy.
Oh, yeah, come on in. Fun catching up again, man. That hour flew by. Thanks for bringing Dan Lanning along with you. That was a fun convo.
Boys, always appreciate it. Rhino, try and make it over for Clemson LSU, man. Come on.
I'm close. I'm close.
We won't hurt you.
Close to picking the upset. No, I love Tiger Stadium. I'd love to see that game. I'm close to picking that upset. So you remember, when it happens and Dabo does that
9.5.
Dabo does that epic post-game interview with you, and he will. You remember, you heard it here first.
Just little old Clemson.
Right? Yeah. Nobody believed in us.
We don't have the money LSU's got. We can't afford these guys.
He'll go, hey, Fitzy, nobody believed in us. Did you? That's what. That'll be the post-game interview. He'll do it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, little old Clemson.
By the way, Ian will never take a shot at any coach. You love all coaches, right?
Most of them, because they're all potentially hiring my brothers. So I got to be kind of.
I get it.
That's right. I understand. All right, Fitzy, have a good weekend, buddy. Good to see you.
All right, boys. Appreciate you.
Yep, enjoyed it. That's Ian Fitzsimmons, ESPN. As he mentioned, he'll be on the sidelines. First couple games there. LSU and Clemson and Oklahoma at Michigan.
Those are great games.
Two pretty good games right out of the chute for him on ESPN.
Yeah,
Radio.
and massive national implications on both of those.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if Clemson was to pull off the upset where you're kind of leaning and LSU gets behind that 8 ball and they lose out of conference with what they've got coming up.
Good luck.
Yeah, and the same with Oklahoma.
Yeah, you lose at Michigan, and boy, your path to the playoffs just got super narrow. And then all of a sudden, you got to start talking about Michigan in the playoffs at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 more hours to go. Alabama and Auburn scrimmaging. Todd Fuhrman coming up in the next segment as well. Auburn on the scrimmage field today. Alabama was yesterday. Some injury situation in that one we'll discuss. You'll hear what Kalen DeBoer said about it. So a lot more to go. Our 40 and 40 team, 4 downs, trash, much more. Coming up on the next round, presented by Bud Light.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head. 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence. Dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA and enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we go to hour number 2. Thank you for joining us on The Next Round. He's Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. Dunaway wrapping up his vacation. He'll be back with us on Monday. Thank you for joining us wherever you are on YouTube. Make sure you set your alerts so you know when we're live all the time. That might be tonight. Could have some special live content tonight. Little tease there that you're going to want to be a part of. Check that out at YouTube. Set your alerts so you know when we're live, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those of you on audio, download. Even if you never listen to it once, set your automatic downloads. That helps us a ton. We highly recommend Spotify. That's the best, we are told, experience for our audience is Spotify. Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, wherever you get us, set your automatic downloads, though. We greatly appreciate that. Todd Fuhrman, we also appreciate. He joins us every Friday on the show, and it's always awesome anytime, but especially once toe meets leather. Fuhrman, welcome in. How are you today, buddy?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. I had no idea they let Dunaway north of the Mason-Dixon line unless it was for official business. So kudos to him for going up to the Big Apple and a chance to enjoy his vacation.
Dunaway taking a bite out of the Big Apple this week. Well, I'm sure those will be epic stories. Hey, we just had Dan Lanning on the show in the last hour. He was with us, and Lance brought it up to him. Boy, I tell you, it seems like anytime I see a projection, probably 2 out of 3 have Oregon at least playing for it. In the Vegas world, how big are the Ducks right now? Because it seems like a lot of people are picking them to finally get that national championship off their back.
They're getting very, very trendy, and old Mr. Lanning may have to avoid some of that rat poison that he learned at the hands of Nick Saban back in the day. But when you look at Oregon, I can understand why there's a high level of optimism about what this team can accomplish this year that's eluded them over Dan Lanning's early portion of his tenure there. This is arguably the best defensive line that Oregon has had that they're going to have working for them in Eugene. They have depth at the quarterback position that if something were to happen to Dante Moore, Dylan Raiola isn't going to scare anybody, but it's not a precipitous drop like some of these other teams would have to deal with. There are skill position players. And when you look at Oregon's trajectory, I know a lot of people will point to their unceremonious exits in the playoff or even going back to the final Pac-12 championship where they lost outright as a double-digit favorite against Washington. They seem to get better in increments. They take one step further. The problem is it's the blowouts that leave that lasting image, and I can understand why people are excited. For me personally, though, at a price tag right around plus $7, plus $7.50, not nearly enough meat on the bone for me to tie up my money this far out to bet on the Ducks to finally achieve a little bit of college football immortality.
Yeah, and Furman, we've talked about this before. Wait for them to lose a game. They're going to lose a game more than likely. The win total's 10.5. They drop that one game. The odds are going to drag out much more than you would get at plus 750. Speaking of win totals, I wanted to ask you this because we previewed Texas Tech just a couple of days ago. And when you look at their schedule, even with Will Hammond as your starting quarterback now and not Sorsby, Hammond does have a little bit of experience. They say he's going to be ready week 1. That win total is only 10.5, and I know you've looked at this schedule. I mean, it is the biggest Power 4 joke schedule out there. They should be favored by double digits in every game. How do you not play the over 10.5?
They shouldn't be favored by double digits in every game, LT. They will be favored by double digits in every game, barring some unforeseen collapse. The closest number that I have from a power rating standpoint, as things stand right now, would be week 3, that Friday night game when they play host to Houston, where they're right around a 2-touchdown favorite. But they will be a bigger favorite in almost all of their games. You look at the road dates at Oregon State, at Colorado, at Cincinnati, at Oklahoma State, at Baylor. None of those on paper appear to be losable for me. Now, of course, it's never that easy, as we know, being sports fans, whether it's college football or other pursuits that are out there. This win total was as high as 11.5 before Brendan Sorsby was announced to be officially ineligible, what felt like the 13th time. And now you see that number sitting at 10.5, heavily shaded to the over. We see Texas Tech kind of de facto odds-on favorite in the Big 12. But I would caution with some of this stuff for Texas Tech. I feel that there's a lot more variance to this Red Raiders team, even with some of those gaudy numbers, than what we saw last year, because there are a lot more questions on the defensive side. And if Will Hammond isn't the answer and we get glimpses of the quarterback we saw struggle on the road in Tempe last year against Arizona State, maybe Tech can't reach the same heights that we saw last season. All that being said, I can't see them really losing multiple games, would lean over the total and would be more inclined to bet them to win the conference, knowing that they would open up as much more than a field goal favorite in a one-game setting in the Big 12. But I'll also posit this question to you guys as well, and I can't remember which college football insider threw it out there. It might have been Brett McMurphy. If not, though, I apologize, saying that if Texas Tech were to go undefeated during the regular season, they rattle off wins, go 12-0, but were to lose in the conference championship game to a BYU who they won't see during the regular season or a Utah, would 12-1 Texas Tech have enough on their resume to get into the college football playoff as an at-large? And I think it's a fascinating debate.
It would depend if teams like Houston and Oklahoma State ended up having a 9-win season in year 1 under Eric Morris. You would have to have other ranked wins on that schedule. If they have 0 ranked wins, I think they get bounced.
Yeah, I think somebody on their schedule will end up ranked, so they're probably not going to get completely blank there. But they're not going to be a whole lot of top 25 wins that they've got to trumpet there, Furman.
And this league, you know, in all honesty, feels like there's as much volatility as any in the P4 conferences. That if Texas Tech weren't to look the part of 800-pound gorilla in the room, can a team come from off the pace? And you guys mentioned Eric Morris at Oklahoma State. Maybe he can have the Kirk Cignetti impact, and Drew Mestemaker can be that dude for a team priced at 30-1 that has a lot of questions to answer defensively. But I think from a future standpoint, it makes a world of sense to bet a little bit on Texas Tech right around that even money minus 105 and trying to identify one of the other long shots out there on the board. Houston, like we mentioned, most fascinating, but do I really want to try and run to bet Houston to win the conference? If I think they're going to get there, I bet them on the money line, albeit at a shorter price when they go into Lubbock. And if they lose that game, number's going to drift out, and I probably have a chance to get a better price tag on the Cougars.
Another one I'll give you, and Lance and I discussed this a couple days ago, is Miami, Furman, because Lance, I mean, you know, this early season, he's got a time to come off this, but you call Clemson upsetting Miami the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be a short number by the time they play. I don't know how you feel on that, Furman, but I mean, Miami's only got 2 difficult games on paper.
So what do you think that is, Furman? Saturday, October 3rd at Clemson. Miami favored by what for that game?
Right around a touchdown for the Hurricanes there. And so much of it will hinge on what we get from Clemson, because I think Miami is a somewhat known commodity. I know depending on who you talk to, you can make the case that Darian Mensah is going to be an upgrade from what we saw with Carson back. But even if he isn't, the receivers that he's surrounded by, Malachi Toney in his second year, a deeper backfield, Cooper Barkate coming over with him as well. If Miami can sort out their offensive line and be able to generate a pass rush like they were able to last year with Mesidor and Bain, the Hurricanes will be just fine. But yep, on paper, one of the more difficult games in the ACC for Miami. But we've seen Mario Cristobal kind of make a hound's breakfast of games he should go out there and win, and do so convincingly in the past. Where that landmine falls in the schedule, and maybe he gets the benefit of the doubt now, given that he got to the national championship game. But until I see this Miami team laser focused for some of these second or even third tier conference opponents, there's going to be a chance for them to stub their toe. And it's wild that we're sitting here talking about Miami with national championship aspirations, and they still yet to have an ACC conference championship on Mario Cristobal's resume since he took over down there in Coral Gables.
And that was going to be my point. Like, this was the scenario we painted out. You lose at Clemson, get upset there, and then you lose a Notre Dame game where you'll be an underdog in South Bend. All of a sudden, there's a chance you're not in the ACC championship game. You don't have any ranked wins, and this year you don't have the Notre Dame win to fall back on. Like, that is a very realistic path to missing the playoffs for the Miami Hurricanes.
Things get to be a lot more daunting in that particular regard, but we'll see if the Hurricanes are able to live up to some of these lofty expectations. They're actually they are the heaviest favorite to win one of the P4 leagues, even a heavier favorite than Texas Tech, right around minus $1.50. And full disclosure here, guys, you had professional bettors that were willing to lay minus $1.30 on Miami to drive that number up. And I think that's more a reflection of the rest of the league and which teams you think can take the next step. Maybe you're a believer in Louisville, who, of course, Miami doesn't play during the regular season. We'll get a good indication of where the Cardinals are with Lincoln Kienholz and Coach Brom on that Sunday night opener against Ole Miss. But you go top to bottom, the ACC is far from a murderer's row. And you can illustrate that even further when you look at SMU, who a lot of people have talked about. They're going to be a 17.5-point underdog or thereabouts when they go to South Bend. It's a far cry from Miami, who right now sits to the 6.5 to 7-point dog for their trip to play the Fighting Irish.
Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. USC's win total is 8.5. Another team we previewed a couple of days ago, and we brought up the fact if Lincoln Riley doesn't make the college football playoff, very difficult schedule, by the way, there's a chance even with that massive buyout, he's fired. Is there any way, or have you ever seen somebody play like USC right now, over 8.5 wins, but also play Lincoln Riley a future to get fired? Because USC could technically go 9-3. They miss the college football playoff, and he gets fired.
Well, that was the running joke, is that the chances of Lincoln Riley still being at USC in a couple of years is probably slim. That's why they scheduled a series with Notre Dame, knowing that Lincoln probably wouldn't be there at that point since he hasn't wanted to play that game. But you mentioned some of the volatility in these teams, and I think USC kind of fits the bill for that. Maybe not necessarily with Lincoln getting fired, but you take both ends of the spectrum, that you bet a yes on USC to make the playoff, or you shop around a prediction market, and if things completely crater, that they would pay the price to get rid of Lincoln Riley. You go through the schedule for the Trojans, and I know you guys have looked at it in depth. I mean, they're going to have to win games where, guess what? They're not going to be favorites in those contests. And that'll start as early as playing host to Oregon in late September, where they'll be right around a 5.5, 6-point underdog. They'll make the trip to Penn State in the whiteout game, where they'll be a short road underdog. That number has kind of flipped in my estimation, given all the buzz around Penn State. And then you'll be a home underdog against Ohio State on Halloween, and you'll be an underdog on the road in Bloomington against Indiana. So there is plenty of work for USC to do. Fortunately for them, they'll have 4 games to kind of get their feet wet. But I guess we can't even pencil in victories within the conference when they have to travel multiple time zones. That's kind of been Lincoln Riley's Achilles heel, and heaven help him if they lose in Piscataway against Rutgers after beating up on cream puffs like San Jose State, Fresno State, and Louisiana.
Oh, that would be a terrible loss. There is a team, Fuhrman, and you brought them up just a moment ago, which is interesting to me because I'm starting to see a little bit of chatter on Oklahoma State. Not to maybe win the Big 12, but I've seen people have them in their top 25. I've seen them discussed as a dark horse type team. This was a 1-11 team last year. And I know Mestamaker was good at North Texas. I mean, what am I missing here with Oklahoma State? Do you see the same thing that some of these analysts see, that this could be a sleeper top 25 type team?
Well, I can tell you the buzz is real in Stillwater and throughout the state of Oklahoma. I do radio with Mark Rogers, who's very close to both those programs there on Thursdays. Had a chat, and he goes, it feels like everybody has Oklahoma and Oklahoma State going over their win total. So he kind of joked it's either going to be a boon or bankruptcy for the bookmakers there as everyone's trying to bet the two local teams to exceed odds makers' expectations. What I can say for Oklahoma State is I think they have a much higher floor than what they did last year, given some of the offensive players that Eric Morris has brought in, and this team should be able to put up some crooked numbers. Now, will they be able to step up in class and stop anybody defensively? Because North Texas wasn't tested in a week-in, week-out basis, and when they did step up against AAC opponents, there were some crooked numbers that were hung against them. We've seen Oklahoma State go from that 13.5 range against Tulsa. I think they're going to close more in no man's land, 14.5 or greater. I don't think they'll get to 17. We'll get a good indication of where Oklahoma State is as a program when they play host to Oregon, a game they lost by what felt like 700 points last year up in Eugene, and then the real prove-it game when they go on the road in Morgantown to take on West Virginia for their conference opener. I think there is such a wide range of results. I'm not going to call for Oklahoma State to be a fringe top 25 team because my power numbers just don't support it, but I will be real quick to adjust this team if I think they're able to compete at a high level with those G5 transfers coming over to play in a P4 conference.
Okay, Fuhrman, before we let you go, I got to bring this up because, as you know, much like a closer in baseball, a corner in football, you got to have a short memory when it comes to sports betting. Last night, my Thursday night, listen to these bad breaks. I've got
That's the preseason.
I've got Cincinnati. Detroit comes in with Luke Altmaier. He was god awful. They score their only touchdown with a third string quarterback in the final 96 seconds of the game for the cover. The Colts decide to go for a tie instead of a win.
Right. Yeah, it's
with
preseason.
the Patriots.
Let's don't go for the win in the preseason.
And then I've got the Cubs, and the Nationals literally had a Make-A-Wish kid as their coach of the day. I can't make this up. Those are one of the...
Those are the kind of things, those are tangibles where you can't tempt fate and try and go against a Make-A-Wish bench boss.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean,
the Nationals are playing the best game of the best 9 innings, since they won a World Series.
They're playing for the kid, man. It's for the kid.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't know that Cade Cavalli was going to go out there and go 7 strong of basically no-hit baseball against the Chicago Cubs? First off, though, Brownie, what I have to tell LT is anyone who bets baseball during the month of August, there are 1-800 numbers for that, so I worry about LT's sanity going forward. May want to shelve that in lieu of football right around the corner. But in terms of some of those preseason breaks, there's no doubt about it. And you weren't the only one suffering through a bad beat with the backdoor touchdown for Luke Altmaier on that 12-play, 80-yard drive for the Lions. I'll go.
I was watching it on Gamecast too, Fuhrman.
Oh, you didn't
it's
even
one
have
of those,
the video?
Yeah, it's just I'm resetting nonstop because I couldn't get it.
Like the old school days when we were all in college and you couldn't figure out exactly where to find these games because they weren't being televised. And when ESPN Game Tracker would show the wrong play-by-play with like a pick six or a busted run, and then suddenly touchdowns would be pulled off the board, there was no worse feeling. But in terms of other bad beats in the preseason, how about the Raiders-Cardinals? 41 points on the board with about 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Total closes 41.5. They go scoreless for the final 19 minutes and 29 seconds with the UPS and FedEx drivers out there. And then you have Kyle Shanahan employing optimal strategy for the San Francisco 49ers, who trailed 19-10 against the Tennessee Titans, electing to kick a field goal to make it a one-score game at 19-13 and try and recover the onside kick. Now, you get no sympathy if folks laid the 6.5 with the Titans, knowing that they opened as an underdog. But I do have thoughts and prayers for folks that may have found themselves on that Raiders total, or much like you, needed to slam that back door shut if they were sitting on a Bengals ticket minus 6.5.
Just because you brought it up, going back to the college days and the Gamecast, what is the worst beat you've ever seen like that? Because I'll never forget, we were doing an event on a Thursday night. And I got so emotional with it, I texted directly at Lane Kiffin. He was coaching Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
And he had his punter run out of the end zone for like 40 yards. I mean, the game was over. And I don't know if you remember this.
I do.
To give the opposing team the safety to give them the cover for no reason at all. But I saw it on Gamecast.
Yeah, I was just saying, I can't remember if that's when Lane referenced it in the post-game press conference. A lot of that stuff blurs together. But I think about the days, and, you know, there are a lot of listeners out there who are going to think that we were born in the Stone Ages when we first started betting games. I had a sports pager that I used to carry around with me because you didn't have smartphones back then, that the offshore books would send you with a minimum deposit so you could scroll through. And I was a collegiate athlete. I'll be at the Division III level. I'm sitting on the bus going through the sports pager trying to get scores as discreetly as I could. But the other thing that you had available to you was the score line. It was 1-800-555-TELL that you could call, and every sports bettor had a superstition. Did you want to say the team that you bet on first? Did you want to say their opponent? And the thing about it was when a team won by 20 points or more, they would always use a ridiculous adjective like, SMU annihilated Florida State. And there was a game where I laid 21. I get the annihilated to come out, and the team only wins by 20. I was damn close, guys, after polishing off about a 12 or a Busch Light, chucking my cell phone across the room watching games with my buddies.
12 or a Busch Light. Oh, Fuhrman, those are great stories. Todd Fuhrman, CBS Sports, at Todd Fuhrman on social media. See him at CBS Sports, and more to come from Fuhrman. Fuhrman, thank you very much. Enjoy the weekend. We are continuing to count it down. It's almost here.
Always a pleasure, boys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the remaining preseason games. And LT, better luck to you when it comes to you being on the gridiron or on the diamond this weekend.
Got two absolute winners in preseason.
Is there a Make-A-Wish kid coaching one of the games?
I have not seen that yet.
All right. Fuhrman, thank you, buddy. We'll see you. That is Todd Fuhrman with us each week. Lance is talking about when he says those 3 games, you had them at lanceslock.com.
I did. They were bad beats. Bad beats last night. We bounced back again. We've got 2 massive winners in the NFL preseason for you tonight. Those are up and available. Also, more Major League Baseball. LancesLock.com, free play every single day. We are 15 days away from college football kicking off. Jump on board, get that football package. All available at LancesLock.com. Brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any plumbing, heating, cooling issues, home or business. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And our 5th anniversary kickoff party is coming up at our friends at Walk-Ons 2 weeks from last night.
Yep, 2 weeks from last night. I talked to multiple people yesterday that are coming in town for this. It's going to be our biggest, our best ever. We've got some incredible giveaways. Our man, Alexander Shunnarah, not only giving away a 10-year bottle of Pappy, also a 12-year.
My gosh, a 10 and a 12. We got a lot going on. It is at Walk-Ons Tattersall Park, which is the Greystone location just off Highway 280. Now, Walk-On's got 3 great locations, 4 coming soon with Homewood, but you can see them at Tattersall Park 280, Stadium Trace in Hoover, and also the Trustville location. All great Walk-On's locations. But make note, 2 weeks from last night, we will be at the Greystone location, Tattersall Park, Highway 280, for our 5th anniversary kickoff. It's hard to believe it's the 5th anniversary already. Our 5th anniversary kickoff party. We cannot wait. It's always a fun time. We just hang out and talk football.
Yeah,
basically.
Friends Bud Light will be out there. Have some great specials for you. So, and unlike last year, we brought this up last night. We had the South Florida upset over Boise State, but we really didn't get to watch it. I mean, I know it's cool to have those games on in the background. We'll have some preseason action going for you.
Yeah, a little NFL preseason for you. We had some of that last night. We'll talk about some more a little bit later on. All right. Scrimmage yesterday in Tuscaloosa. No stats released. If you read what Kalen DeBoer said about the scrimmage, it sounded like the secondary had a really good scrimmage. Now, this is one of those deals where when you're in fall camp, if your secondary has a good scrimmage, who might have had a bad scrimmage?
The quarterback.
The quarterback. Yep. So we don't have stats, so we don't know interception numbers officially.
Nice job, Q.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, somebody punt the ball out of the stadium. We don't have official numbers. I will tell you 3 players he called out by name: linebacker Luke Metz, Caleb Woodson, and Azul Sanders. So you could, and then he talked about the defensive line as a whole performing well. So it sounded like the defense had a really good scrimmage if you listen to Kalen DeBoer. Now, again, you don't know if it's 1-on-1s, 1-on-2s. You don't know a lot of things, but just the units he singled out, it sounded like the defense had a good scrimmage.
I don't know how you feel. I mean, typically you have confidence in any quarterback Kalen DeBoer rolls out there, any offense Kalen DeBoer rolls out there. I know there were deficiencies last year when you look at that offensive line and the inability to run, but I feel much better about the defense this year going into 2026 than the offense.
I think Alabama's got a really solid defense. I do. I think they've got a very good secondary. Linebacker is a bit of a question. I've heard Caleb Wooden, the transfer out of Virginia Tech, is going to be one of the studs there. Again, he was called out by name yesterday.
Yeah, front 7 is a question.
Front 7, I think, is your biggest question of your defense because you know the back 4 or 5, whatever alignment you're in there. That is as solid as it gets. Maybe the best in the nation at secondary. So I think you're very, very confident about that. The bad news, and you're always going to get this time of year, is injury news. We've already talked about it today with Oregon losing a running back. USC lost their center. It's just a fact of life in the preseason. You hate it, but it happens. Already, EJ Crowell, the stud freshman running back for Alabama, what people assume is going to be a stud freshman running back, was not available in the scrimmage. And late in the scrimmage, it appears A.K. Deer was injured. So here's the Alabama head coach, Kalen DeBoer, discussing those two running back injuries with the media after the scrimmage yesterday.
Do you have an update on A.K. Deer and EJ Crowell?
EJ did not scrimmage today. He'll be out for a few practices here. He won't miss any games down the road. So he did not practice today. AK did suffer an injury. He actually was having a nice scrimmage, scored a touchdown. We'll evaluate him and figure out what the severity of that. So that was unfortunate because he was having a real nice scrimmage there with the touches he got. And so that's kind of the status on those two.
You don't want to read anything into that. Though, first of all, the Crowell thing, it just sounds like he's nicked up a little bit and he'll be okay. Not going to miss any games. And I hesitate to read into what DeBoer is saying. I would just say this is all I'll say is you always like for the coach to be able to say he got injured, but he was looked at and he's fine.
Yep.
When they can't say that after a game or a scrimmage, you get a little pit in your stomach, don't you?
Well, oh, yeah. Look, in Crowell, I mean, obviously there's a huge expectation and people believe for Alabama to get to where they want to be. He's got to make that immediate impact. But I go back to A.K. Deer, too, because he was the only running back last year that had any explosion out of the backfield.
That's right.
Now, very limited. He had less than 20 carries, but he's the only Alabama running back with that number of carries that averaged more than 3.9 yards per carry. He averaged 7.4. I mean, you can see the explosion now. There's obviously other things that he's got to work on. But I think that Alabama fans are very optimistic about Crowell and Deer.
Well, I just think you've got so many concerns in the run game, and it starts up front, but you've got to have good quality running backs too. And if you had a scrimmage where two guys were out, the good news or one guy was out, one guy got injured. The good news is it sounds like Crowell will be fine. But, boy, if you start losing explosive guys like A.K. Deer, and I think that's the fear if you're an Alabama fan when Kalen DeBoer can't stand there and say, hey, he was checked out, he just got a little dinged up, he'll be fine. You've got to hold your breath until there is some sort of further announcement on that. And boy, you hope the best for Deer because you're right. If he could have picked up the blitz last year, he'd have played a lot more. You saw him against Georgia when basically he was forced in because Alabama was so beat up and it was a disaster and they couldn't play him. But his explosion, he was the only guy that had that type of explosion in that backfield.
Yeah, and you didn't see that at all last year. Watching Ashton Genty play for the Raiders, like Genty's great back. You saw how dominant he was at Boise. We'll see what the NFL career becomes, but he had no shot last year. I mean, he was hit more in the backfield than past the line of scrimmage. I think he was the number one running back in the NFL that took the most in the backfield hits last year.
I mean, if you've got a bad line, there's only so much Barry Sanders could do. He's the best that's ever done it. So that's the update from Tuscaloosa yesterday. Auburn is on the practice field. Cut 5, if you will, Tyler. Auburn is scrimmaging today. If I just ask this question to Auburn fans in general, after today's scrimmage, which unit do you hope Alex Golesh is the most positive about? What unit do you think they would say?
Offensive line.
I would agree 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I think offensive line. I think if Alex Golesh comes out of today's scrimmage and they say, Coach, what can you talk about? I got to tell you, man, our offensive line looked dang good
Well,
today.
we already talked about Bryson Washington transferring from Baylor, what you have with Jeremiah Cobb. You look at the receivers, Alex Golesh is going to do nothing but probably rave about these 4 receivers that come over from South Florida. Obviously, your quarterback is the focal point of that offense with his experience and his explosion or the ability to be such a dynamic dual-threat quarterback in Byron Brown. But the offensive line is the unknown.
It is absolutely an unknown. Here is offensive lineman Cole Skinner talking about what he has seen from his perspective on that line as far as the development of that line in practice so far.
The week's been a grind. We're trying to get better every single day. We still got a lot of stuff to clean up, but a lot of the guys are playing more confident. It's been a grind this offseason from spring ball all the way to OTAs. Like, people really learning this offense, and it's starting to click now, and you can see it out on the field. The defense has given us a bunch of great looks. We got one of the best defenses in the country for a reason, and that helps going against them every single day because we're preparing for the best, and we're going to be playing against the best every single week. So we just got to keep stacking days. I'm proud of where we are. We need to keep going, and the limit is the sky's high. Like, there's no limit.
And we'll see, how open Alex Golesh is. There were no stats from Alabama. We'll see if there's stats. We'll see if they're ones-on-ones. I would say, Lance, if it's ones-on-ones and Alex Golesh comes out praising the offensive line, you got to feel really good because it's a pretty good defense. Like he just said, Cole Skinner said, when it's ones-on-ones, they're going against one of the better defenses they'll see all year.
Yeah, going back to what we said about Alabama, you feel really good about the quarterback position for Auburn this year, although you never know if it's going to be more Trinidad Chambliss or more John Mateer. But the one thing that you really feel good about is DJ Durkin's defense.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. All right. Michelson viewing menu right now. Tyler will tell us what he's watching. It's brought to you, as always, by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, if you wear contacts or glasses, and look, I'm speaking from experience. I wore the contacts for about a decade. You are wasting money each and every year. So much better living the life contact-free. You know it's a pain in the ass taking them out at night, putting them back in the next morning. If you go out, you swim around in the pool, you open the eyes, they float right out. You get something in your eye in the middle of a game, you scratch it out. It's just a pain in the ass. I made the call in 2003. I got the procedure done. 2015 vision still better than 2020. 205-969-8100. When you make that call, ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
So last night I watched The Rivals of Mziah King with Matthew McConaughey. And it's pretty solid. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it could have been better if they went more of a traditional crime thriller route in the second half, but it turns more investigative. And I was expecting a little bit more action, but really solid.
Investigative? Is it open-ended or is it neatly done at the end?
Yeah, it wraps up.
Okay. Did you notice a lot of the landmarks around the city?
Definitely
Oh, really?
noticed.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can see in the background. It's like, yep, I've definitely driven past that gravel parking lot before. You just recognize different things, the landscapes and such.
It's so funny. I had forgotten about McConaughey even being in town, and I remember the photos that came out, people run into him, and all the reports. That shows you how long it takes from filming a movie to releasing a movie. Like, I had completely forgotten they even did that until you brought it up.
Yeah, the filming process, if it's not Apocalypse Now, is pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got, average shoot now, 6 weeks maybe?
Yeah, average shoot's not that bad anymore. I think the Odyssey was about 90, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But that's also the Odyssey. But nowadays, the main issue is CGI, if you're using a ton of CGI, or if it's a smaller budget film like this, securing a distributor for it.
Yeah.
Because it costs money to send reels out to every single theater in the country and book all those screens.
So is McConaughey good guy or bad guy in this?
He's a good guy.
Okay.
Good guy. He's very enjoyable to watch in this. And there's a scene where...
It's got good violence?
Good violence.
Not really. That's what I was wanting more from.
Okay, and especially in the second half, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's a scene where McConaughey reunites with his daughter, and they go to a potluck, and he's going through all the dishes that everybody brings, and he's telling his daughter about who made the dish and why it's so important to the potluck and how each dish has a story. And I thought that was a really cool scene because we've all been to big dinners and you go, ooh, you don't want to eat those mashed potatoes. They were made by so-and-so. Definitely got to try this green bean casserole, though.
I've only gone to, I think, one potluck. I did see the most amazing is they do it every year at our friends at Floribama.
Oh, yeah, the Thanksgiving potluck?
Potluck. Everybody, you just watch them just walking in with different dishes, and it's just a ton of potluck. And I'm sure the food's incredible. I'm just a little skittish about diving in on that kind of stuff.
You've been to one potluck ever in your life?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was a Friendsgiving.
I tell you what, a good old-fashioned good Southern church potluck was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
You get them old ladies that know how to cook chicken and dumplings and fry okra and stuff like that.
Yep, that's what this was.
Yeah, man, a good old-fashioned church potluck in a small southern town like Anniston, where I grew up, man, you can get some good food.
I believe it. I just, sometimes going in, you don't know who's back to Tyler's got an aunt that's got 24 cats or whatever.
I know, but sometimes those old ladies will be like, "Don't get June's dressing. She's a little heavy on the sage." And you're like, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah.
They'll tell you up front, if you don't like sage, you don't want to touch that.
I can after I take a bite, there's too much sage, I can put it down.
That's right.
I don't want to get a cat hair in my mouth.
You just don't want, it was cooked at a place where they're keeping a dead body because they don't want to give up.
Hey, my great aunt makes great dressing. I won't allow her Thanksgiving dressing to be slandered.
Okay.
Here
I'm not saying she does it, but there could be a cat hair in it.
There's never been.
My family started just cutting, like my grandmother, my mom and her two sisters just started cutting her off from cooking anything anymore because it started tasting. Well, she got to an age where she just put too much onions in certain stuff.
Yeah.
Damn, that is bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry you can't kill it.
Yeah, hey, Jane.
What do I need to bring for Thanksgiving?
Nothing.
Why don't you go grab some cookies from the store?
Get the ice. Bring ice.
Yeah, bring a bag of ice.
New York Butcher Shop.
Yeah, there you go. Is that what you would bring? You would go by a New York Butcher Shop to come to a potluck?
Brooks, I don't know if you have realized this. I go a lot.
Yeah.
I was there a couple of nights ago, and I do set up some of my, like Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's just easier when I call Jim, and I'm like, hey, look, let's get a turkey, let's get a ham, let's get some of the great sides, and I never pawn it off as myself. I'm not going to be one of those that's going to redish it and act like I did it. Yeah, I don't think that's fair, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
That's baking.
Yeah.
Did you get the a while back you talked about a butternut squash ravioli?
Oh, yeah. I've had it.
Was that where it was from?
Yes. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
I'll have to make a
Yeah.
stop.
They've also got a lobster ravioli.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Call ahead. I'm not sure they have the butternut squash
Yeah,
every
you
time.
got to check. I mean, it's one of those, back to potluck. You walk in the New York Butcher Shop. I just want to do a live read for them, right?
Sure, why not?
Hey, look, the weekend is here, but you walk in, they've got different dishes. It might be a baked ziti here. Those orange rolls that you can get. I've got some in the freezer right now that I am definitely going to bake up this morning or this weekend. Take advantage of that. The fresh meats, the made fresh in-house sides every single day. Great selection of fine wines and desserts as well. 2 locations, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 at Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Alrighty, so that's Rivals of Amziah King, filmed here in Birmingham.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a new release today called Nimrods. It's a comedy movie featuring Green Day, where members of a younger band cause mayhem and mischief as they race to Los Angeles to open for Green Day on New Year's Eve. It stars Mason Thames, who you might recognize from The Black Phone or the How to Train Your Dragon reboot that came out last year. And then McKenna Grace, who's been getting seemingly every young adult role for the past 2 or 3 years. But she's great. If you're looking for a family movie this weekend.
It's got 75%, by the way, Nimrods. It says a holiday movie, I guess, New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah. It's odd that they're releasing it in August, but is what it is. If you're looking for a family movie this weekend, Paw Patrol the Dino movie comes out. And if you're looking to revisit an old movie this weekend, for its 35th anniversary, Point Break is getting a re-release in theaters. Have you seen Point Break?
I have not. Lance loves Point Break. I've not seen it. Yeah.
Here's the problem with Point Break for him.
For me?
Yeah, it's very nostalgic. It's like a lot of these films, it's got some cheesy moments. Like, I will be there at the theater when this, me and Jack 100% will be there.
Yeah.
Very excited about this. Catherine Bigelow was the one that directed.
Yeah.
I think it was her first feature film, and she ended up being the first female director to win Best Actor for The Hurt Locker. But it is Keanu and Patrick Swayze.
Oh, it's going to be
cheesy.
80s cheese. Yeah.
It is.
Gary Busey.
Yeah, I watch 80s movies expecting cheese.
But, man, it is just so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. And it's nonstop. It's a good hour and 45 minutes of just popcorn action.
Popcorn action.
Patrick Swayze runs a heist crew that does these bank jobs, and they all wear masks of former presidents.
Oh, yeah, I've seen. Yeah. Okay, so that's Point Break. Okay.
Yeah,
and they're all surfers, too.
Yeah, extreme athletes, love to surf, love to, jump out of planes.
Gotcha. All right.
But it's a lot of fun. I'd really recommend
The
it.
most amazing thing about that film is do a picture of Lori Petty in that movie and Lori Petty now. Can you pull Lori Petty in Point Break and then Lori Petty 2026? Brown, this will blow you away.
So Lori Petty, she's the female flame in.
They somehow sold
Point
us
Break?
that she looked good in Point Break.
Okay.
I mean, it's a different look.
I mean,
back
maybe
then.
in the 80s I would have.
Yeah, but you see her in her body glove and out surfing and stuff.
Yeah.
But look at Lori Petty now.
Lori Petty 2026. We all age, Lance. Wow.
I get it.
You
It's
know,
just,
I would not have recognized her. No.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big change. Yeah, it's a big change.
Time was not kind to her.
And could have gone to Michelson, too. That's a heavy prescription.
Yeah.
That's speaking of Michelson, that is Tyler's viewing menu.
I got one more. New release.
That was Tyler's viewing
That's
menu.
Harry Carey right there, isn't it?
I was going to go Joe Paw.
That's a fastball.
But finally on viewing menu, Mac's new release on Sunday, Lanterns. This is the Green Lantern show where it follows the experienced Lantern Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, and new recruit John Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, as they investigate a murder in Rushville, Nebraska, which Jordan believes is an extraterrestrial incident and leads them to darker mysteries and reckonings. It's the first Green Lantern project in 15 years since Ryan Reynolds blessed us with that abomination of a film, and this one will be inspired by a true detective.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
That is Tyler's View Menu presented by Michelson Laser Vision. We return our 40 and 40 team today, still in the SEC. Who's next? You'll find out next on the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio. No need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next round shirts, next round hoodies, and next round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing next round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite next round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big next round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing next round gear from nextround.store. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Well, the divorce that Lance, he referenced it earlier in the show when Fitzy was with us down in Louisiana, got a little bit messier. Ryan Clark tried to clean it up a little bit for Jayden Daniels. That did not go over well. Ryan Clark, of course, an LSU great.
Thought you were talking about mine for a second.
Oh, no, not your divorce.
Yeah, I was confused.
That also was referenced earlier. My bad. I forgot about that, yes. No, but the one down in Baton Rouge, it took another step yesterday because Lane Kiffin and some players met the media. First of all was DJ Pickett. He's right in the center of this. He's the young man that, at least the story goes, and I've seen different versions of this, Brian Kelly promised him the number 5. And then when they found out that Jayden Daniels wasn't real hip on that, it kind of fell apart. Lane Kiffin honored the promise. DJ Pickett yesterday meeting the media, talking about the number 5. Here's what he said.
I wore the number my whole life since I was 4 years old. It's a number I was promised. And I wish Jayden the best. Good player, and he did real good here. So that's all.
Wow, that's a man of many words right there.
it.
He's good.
He didn't go too deep.
Real good here.
I mean, but he can only step in it right.
But why even bring him up to the
I
podium?
don't know. I'm with
like
you,
if I'm Lane
100%,
Kiffin,
yeah.
I protect him at this point. There's no the only thing you're not going to be asked about at this point. There's no the only thing you're not going to be asked about football at all. The only thing
was stepping it. I mean, the answer he gave, while not wordy, was probably the best answer he could give because it prevented him from saying something that would make this worse.
That is a massively big cornerback.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like
he's
when he
a
was
legit
talking,
6'4".
He is long, isn't he? I mean, when he was talking, man, that guy's got some length.
I do think it's embarrassing. Look, and if his family was promised this and he was promised this, and this is on Brian Kelly, according to Ian, who was on with us earlier, that's a separate story. I can't believe a number is A, this big, and B, I cannot believe that Jayden Daniels and his family are acting the way they are acting.
Lane Kiffin also asked about it.
Sorry to cut you off.
You're all good?
Did you guys happen to see what LSU tweeted yesterday from practice?
Was it him making an interception?
Well,
what was it?
it's a still photo, but it's the very first photo that they tweeted from practice yesterday.
And it's the number 5?
Yep,
it's him wearing 5.
Of course it is. Yeah. So LSU's just going to lean right into this.
Yeah, they're not shying away from it.
No.
Yeah, so we don't know the whole story with the Jayden Daniels in LSU.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot behind the scenes we never know about.
There's much more to this than a number.
That's right. Lane Kiffin also meeting the media yesterday, so he's going to be asked about it. He was the one that kind of started this by being asked about DJ Pickett getting the number 5 and said he was just honoring the promise here today now that it's blown up.
Just want to give you the opportunity to comment on the Jayden Daniels situation.
Be disappointed if that wasn't the first question. I commented a week ago on that. And so that's the comment that I had, and we're moving forward.
If someone were to ask for number 9, would that be on the table for you? How would you handle that situation when a player asks for that?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. There's a lot to numbers and whether they're retired, whether they're not, and different versions. And so I don't have an answer.
Yeah, smart of Lane to do it that way, by the way. But poor old Joe Burrow, he was just playing a preseason game last night and gets dragged into this. So, of course, now here's Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, just minding his own business, getting dragged into this whole deal. And here he is after the game.
There's a lot of, I don't know if you've kind of talked with what's going on at LSU, but Jayden has a lot of conversation about his number. Your number hasn't been used yet. What's your thoughts on kind of how that whole situation has unfolded down there?
I don't know too much about it. I just heard about it a couple hours ago. I don't necessarily have too many thoughts at this time. I don't know enough about the situation to have any thoughts, I would say.
Has there ever been a conversation about your number not being issue? Like, you ever thought about that? Like, since you left, like, they haven't used 9? Like,
Yeah, they told me that they wouldn't use it again. But you never know. You never know what happens.
By the way, the locker room music was celebrating a 16-14 preseason win over Detroit.
Yeah, that is amazing, man. The bass going.
I couldn't even concentrate on what Burrow was saying.
Basically, what Joe was saying is, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I mean, if he just
why
wanted
are
to
you
sum it
asking
down.
me? I'm in the NFL. Why am I even talking about this?
Now, I am going to go on and say it. That is a awful hat.
Joe, he works here, Lance.
Yeah. Now, as soon as I would say that, if Dunaway was on the panel, he'd be like, it's a guy recovering from cancer. They gave it to him.
Yeah, that's true. And you would feel bad.
Well, funny you say that. Charles in the chat says, Burrow looks like a Make-A-Wish kid in that hat.
Wow. You went against him. You went against a Make-A-Wish kid last night.
So you know what I found out reading through this article a little bit more on this whole situation with DJ Pickett and the Jayden Daniels family is the number 5 was never retired officially.
No, it was not. And in fact, I don't think they ever said it was going to be.
Yeah, so what is the problem?
To Jayden Daniels' side of it, Ryan Clark said that in his lengthy tweet yesterday, trying to play mediator here. He was like, the Daniels know it was not retired. It was never discussed about being retired. So I don't think anybody's saying it's retired. In fact, if you're going to retire one, it's the guy we just played, number 9. It's going to be first. You're going to retire his before you retire number 5.
And his isn't retired either.
No.
Yeah. Well, here's what I would say. If I'm a player's father and DJ Pickett's father's come out on record and said, hey, my kid's getting drug into this. He's worn that number since he was 4 or 5 years old. Jayden Daniels is one thing, but if my kid wants to wear 9, he's going to LSU, I'd be like, son, I don't think you want those shoes to fill right now.
Yeah. LSU has retired the following numbers. Billy Cannon, number 20. Charles Alexander's number 4. Jerry Stovall's number 21. Tommy Casanova, which is an incredible name. Tommy Casanova's number 37, and Burt Jones.
He should have been an R&B singer.
Burt Jones, number 7.
Okay,
so they've got 5 retired.
Since the early 70s, they haven't retired one.
Because they're doing the math.
Yeah,
and they're like, if we retire the number 9 and the number 5, all of a sudden, we need 100 numbers. We've got to have 100 numbers.
Yeah, proud program like LSU, have a Ring of Honor, retire the jersey, do a big to-do for them, celebration, but you can't retire numbers.
We brought it up with Aaron Murray yesterday. Georgia stopped retiring. I think Herschel Walker was the most recent retirement for them because they've done the math. They're like, we got to have 100 numbers on the roster.
Yeah, Mississippi State can retire numbers.
Probably. But, I mean, even then, we've talked about it recently.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
I know you are. Jeffrey Simmons, Chris Jones, Dak Prescott. Yeah. I mean, you would have retired a lot recently.
Eric Moulds would probably get his.
Did you say number 7's retired?
I did. Is it not?
I mean, Tyrann
Mathieu wore it. Maybe they retired it after the Honey Badger.
And Jamar Chase was scheduled to wear it in 2020 when he opted out of COVID.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just going on what the robot said. I'm not an LSU historian.
Hey,
Leonard Fournette wore number 7.
Yeah,
you're right. Brooks is right. I mean, some great
Maybe
players
those are just retired jerseys. Maybe they didn't retire the number.
They have some legacy numbers there, too. I think number 7 is one of those. Number 18 is one of those.
Yeah, Hester wore 18. It's a legacy number there.
Did we not, just speaking of the robot, did we not care enough, or did we just completely miss the story of Kyle Shanahan in a Tesla when he wrecked? And by the way, the reports are he actually was studying film when he's going down the highway.
Actually, I did not care enough is the answer to that question. I mean, I hated that he had the wreck, but I really didn't dig into the details around it.
I get that, but I think that is fascinating if that is the detail.
But Tyler did dig.
Yeah, I did some digging, and according to Shanahan, he said that he thought his autopilot feature in his Tesla Model S was on, and he dropped his cell phone. So he thought, well, autopilot's on. I can, reach down there and look for the cell phone. And that's when he wrecked.
Okay.
So there's
makes more sense.
Yeah, there's the update from LSU. As you can tell, 3 people being interviewed about it, and nobody really wanted to touch it. Everybody's like, I don't know what to say. This is, one of our greats versus our school. And I can probably only step in it no matter what I say. So everybody tried to distance themselves as much as possible.
This is one of the least impactful controversies you will ever have in college sports.
I would agree.
Yeah, like everybody's talking about it.
It's impacting a legacy.
It really impacts nothing. I mean,
it impacts Jayden Daniels' legacy and his relationship with the school. That's the unfortunate part. But LSU will go on fine. Daniels will presumably be fine in the NFL if he can get back to the way he played as a rookie. but the two will never have a marriage anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know how much that means to him. Obviously not
not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate it. Yeah.
I do think this would feel a lot different if he won a championship.
Later in his career.
Well, that's what I've always said. When he's 40, 45, 50, it might mean more to him than it does now, but there'll be too much water under the bridge at that point.
Did you guys see Michael Irvin's take
on
all
not.
this? He said that he never wants his number to be retired because when it's retired, it goes up in the rafters and people stop thinking about you. But every time CeeDee Lamb steps onto the field wearing Michael Irvin's former number, Michael Irvin said when he drops a ball, they're going to say he can't catch like Michael Irvin. And when he catches a ball, they're going to say he looks just like Michael Irvin.
Such a Michael Irvin.
But it is
such a Michael Irvin.
And not that CD's ever going to be the player that Michael Irvin is, as good as CD is. But wonder if you get that guy that ends up being better than you.
Yeah.
And then you forget 88 ever existed.
Hey, Greg from Pell City will get up on that roof for you and check it out. Make sure you've got the proper roofing there. Or if some storms have come through, as they're going to do this time of year, do you have any storm damage? Storm Restoration Roofing is the name of his organization. He's going to get up there and look at it. And when the storms come through, he may come down and say, you're fine. He may come down and say, you need the insurance company. No, Greg from Pell City's got it covered, buddy. He's going to tell you what to do. Greg from Pell City. I'm going to give you his cell number right here, and you can give him a call, 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531 for Greg from Pell City. Storm Restoration Roofing is the name of the company. Storm Restoration Roofing, our guy Greg from Pell City. Time now for our 40 and 40, driven every day by our friends at Hoover Toyota.
Yeah, whether you're in the market for new or pre-owned, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they've got the best selection out there. Check out their inventory. Just stop in, see them, Highway 150, beautiful location. For more information on their great inventory in that finance department, the red carpet program, everything involved in Hoover Toyota, go online, hoovertoyota.com.
We are up to number 11, which tells you after today only 10 more shows until that week 0 kickoff. So we're almost there. We're cracking our top 10 on Monday. Who's the last program not in the top 10? Hotty toddy, gosh almighty. It's the the Ole Miss Rebels. They used to be LSU, and their coach went to LSU. The Ole Miss Rebels and our guy Pete Golding at number 11. Playoff borderline team, according to our audience.
Yeah, it's hard to have a first-year coach that has got 2 playoff wins and 2 top 25 wins.
May never happen again.
Yeah. I think this is a fascinating study. They're coming off the best season, arguably, in the history of Ole Miss's program. I know you can go back to the 60s where they claimed some national championships, but I'm just talking about what we've seen.
Correct. In our lifetime.
Was the best Ole Miss team, going 13-2, going to the semifinals. Their win total is set at 7.5, which is crazy. We will get to the schedule in a little bit. First thing I look at is this offense under Lane Kiffin, their ability to run it, their ability to throw it. So much balance, one of the best offenses in college football consistently the last 5 years. Now you bring in East Carolina offensive coordinator John David Baker. He's going to take it over. You've got the parts there. You got Kejuan Lacey, where you can make an argument, not only the best running back in the SEC last year, maybe the best in college football with over 1,500 yards, 24 touchdowns. You've got Trinidad Chambliss coming back. Could be the best quarterback in college football. The offensive line only gave up 19 sacks last year. You got to replace both tackles. You got to replace your 2 best wide receivers. It's a lot of pressure on John David Baker and Pete Golding, the guy that hired him.
Yeah, and Joe Judge, who's calling the plays on the offensive side. Pressure all around. And you wonder, is that too much? Here's what Pete Golding says about handling the moment the year after you made the playoffs and almost played for a national championship.
I mean, you bring guys in with experience hoping that the moment or the game or the stage isn't too big. And then now the focus starts becoming on something that doesn't really matter, okay? And so I do think we have a lot of guys that have played in a lot of big games at big places and all that I think there's not a lot of anxiety going into certain things. Like we mentioned a couple years ago at 23, they're taking pictures of new stadiums and like, what are we doing? You know, so I don't think there's any of that. But I think the sense of urgency to making sure that we're getting the playbook down from a communication standpoint and the attention to detail. And that's my thing that we've got to continue to improve on. Like, this isn't summer OTAs player run, right? Like, you don't get that my bad. You know, I mean, the focus and the attention to detail and the effort, like, it's got to be more consistent. So we're definitely not where we need to be at all. We got a lot of work to do. but that needs to pick up a little bit, in my opinion.
Well, handling that moment starts the Sunday after Labor Day, 7:30 primetime ABC or 6:30 Central, Nissan Stadium in Nashville against Louisville. You can't just roll the helmet out there and beat Louisville. That's a potential contender in the ACC.
I mean, you tell me, and I'm a contrarian by nature. You tell me the percentage of people that will be on Ole Miss minus 6.5, less than a touchdown. The Ole Miss team that,
You're going to get a lot of, God, Ole Miss, they're only having to lay 6.5 against Louisville.
Lasting impression.
Yeah.
I mean, that is definitely the best 1-2 punch quarterback, running back in college football.
Keyone Wilesi and Trinidad Chambliss. Yeah, it's hard to beat that one.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Jackson and Julian Sayin are great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other examples out there. Arch and Pick, either Raleek or Hollywood Smothers. Yeah. But I think that is going into this season. So a lot of people are going to look at this lasting impression. I just saw this Ole Miss team take Miami to the wire. Probably should have played for a national championship. Pete Golding's impossible, in my opinion, to pull against. I hope he has a lot of success. I do think it is head-scratching. This number is 7.5. Because let's go through the obvious wins. Let's call Louisville an obvious win.
Okay. Charlotte the next week is an obvious win.
Yeah. Then you got the coin flip game against LSU.
Lance, I think Wofford's your only other obvious win after that.
Yeah, because you can't say even State in Oxford because
it's a rivalry game. And Auburn, I know Auburn's in Oxford, but still, what's Auburn going to be Saturday, October 31st?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about Auburn, Missouri. I think they split Florida Vanderbilt, worst case.
Yeah.
But, with that said, so let's just do that. Louisville win, Charlotte win. Let's say LSU's a loss. Let's say they split Florida and Vanderbilt. That's 3-2. We'll give them Missouri 4-2. At Texas 4-3. Auburn 5-3. Georgia 5-4. At Oklahoma 5-5. Wofford 6-5. Mississippi State 7-5. We just went under the total of 7.5, and now people are going to be like, Golding's not the guy. The job's too big for him.
The problem is you had him out of the playoffs before Halloween, and that is Ole Miss fans, I think, expect to be back in the playoffs this year.
I don't know what your expectation is. Again, I'm pulling for Pete Golding. I would love for him to have another magical season. I really would because I like that guy that much. I just don't see it. I think best case, they are 8, maybe 9 wins. If they get back to the college football playoff, we talked about coaches of the year.
Incredible job.
Give Pete Golding that award.
Yeah, it's a tough slate to make it to the playoffs in the first full year as a head coach. All right, that is our 40 and 40 team presented by Hoover Toyota. We go to the top 10 next week. That's how close we are to the start of college football. We got one more hour to go. Our 4 downs, our trash, and a lot more coming up next on the next round presented by Bud Light.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA, and enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We go to the final hour of the Next Round, as always, presented by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Champy'sChicken.com. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and the crew have thrown the doors open, ready to serve you a great lunch today. Those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, chicken fingers, the great sides. Megan slinging those Friday drinks down there. Go enjoy it at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Champy'sChicken.com, Champy'sChicken.com. Last hour of the week, Dunaway will be back with us on Monday. Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Tyler, Scott, and Brooks back there in the back room, keeping us going, making us look good, sending out stuff on social media. Just saw something Brooks was working on for Next Round Live, which you'll see a little bit later on, that our conversation earlier with him just sparked an idea for him, and he's already pumping it out.
Good. I love our backroom guys. They are going to be involved in something we are doing tonight. Should we talk about that?
All right. Well, I mean, we were told not to talk about it by the back room yesterday.
But I think we're
now
good.
that we know we're doing it, will the back room allow us to discuss
At least we
this?
know we're trying it.
Tyler, will the back room allow us to discuss this? What we're doing tonight?
Let me get
Poll the room.
Second opinion. Brooks, okay to talk about it?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Right.
Scott, are we,
Do it.
All right,
we're unanimous.
Tonight we are aiming for 8 p.m. But set your alerts. This is why we always tell you to set your alerts on YouTube and follow us on social media so you know when we do stupid stuff like this. Tonight, LT, the plan is, now listen, things can always fall apart. The plan is LT pays off his Uber bet tonight. He will Uber for, we think, a couple of hours. We are going to carry it live. I will anchor and we'll have it live. This is the plan. Now, again, all this could fall apart. But you are approved by Uber.
I am certified now. Let me tell you that.
For now.
I have said
That's
this.
not going to last long.
Since I was a little kid. I have no idea why parents name their kid and they call him by the middle name. So I am Brandon Lance Taylor. So
That's
when
right.
I did, I am a certified Uber driver, it's going to show up as Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon is here to pick you up.
Yeah. So for people out there, if you are looking to, and I wouldn't think anybody would want to be one of my Uber fares, but if you are looking to be in the mix and maybe on camera tonight, Brandon is going to be the name.
I know you're not the biggest Nate Bargatze fan. I love him. But he's got one bit where he's flying Delta, and he goes, somehow one time in Delta, my actual name, Nathaniel, got saved in Delta. He goes, everything else I have, my driver's license, everything says Nate. He goes, so occasionally you'll get one of these overzealous gate people, and they're like, He said one of them was like, "Ooh, it says Nathaniel here, and your driver's license says Nate." He's like, "You can see how we made that leap, right?" We go from Nathaniel to Nate. He's like, I mean, he said, but you'd be shocked at how
I've gotten the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, Lance is not your official name, and I'm like, but it is.
But
it's on my documentation here.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm the one that gets called by my name. I know what my name is.
Yeah, so I have no idea how this is going to go tonight.
Nor do I, but we're going to try it at 8 o'clock. Try it at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this is not much of a bracket payoff.
I know.
But I would say it really took legitimately 2 weeks to get this thing approved. I am wasting a Friday night for the entertainment of all of you guys.
That's right.
I like being on the couch with an edible, a cocktail in hand, watching a good movie.
Instead.
Unable to do that till at least 10 o'clock tonight.
That's right.
But tonight we will be out and about. There's multiple concerts, bigger concert tomorrow night than tonight. But there is a concert tonight. So hopefully we're going to be able to get some good material. You'll be at Command Center. You and I will be going back and forth, and hopefully we'll get 4, 5, 6, 7 really good rides.
Or you might just be idling in Lakeview waiting on a fare.
Could be. If nothing else, Lance and I will just hang out and talk for 2 hours, and you'll have almost like a whole nother show.
I tell you, when it popped up, it said earn $24 an hour right here in Birmingham. I'm like,
how about
damn.
that? What
Like,
kind of
this is about to become my side hustle. So do you guys think I'll ever do it again away
no.
from the night?
I don't think you'll ever be allowed to do it after tonight.
Do you think
That's
I'm banned?
possible.
If you get banned, do you still get paid?
Yeah, you get paid per fare.
I guess.
I don't know if you get banned. They probably will want to keep the
Here's
money.
what's going to suck.
Tell them donate it to charity.
If we completely fall off the grid and the next round dissolves and I need another gig out there, that means Uber is going to be off the list.
You're going to have to be a Lyft driver.
Yeah, you go Lyft.
I thought that they had some kind of connection or overlap.
They probably talk to one another.
How
Hey,
do
have
they
you ever
let-
had this Brandon Taylor guy?
How did they
Or
let
if-
Uber
since they're
also be Lyft?
competitors, wouldn't there be more incentive to not talk to
Well, I
each
don't
other
know,
and
but
be
to
like,
your point,
oh,
you've
yeah,
got
this
people that do
guy,
both.
He'll be a great Lyft driver.
Yeah, you want him.
Hey, where do I get one of those lights?
I don't know.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you just go to Home Depot and get
Yeah, but I mean, where do I get an Uber light?
Probably Amazon or something. Yeah.
So I will have goodies in my car, though. I don't know if I can actually do this, but like I'm going to have like some stuff for them to snack on.
I think the actual
yeah, you
rules-
can have snacks and drinks.
But can I have miniatures? Like if they want some Fireball or some
That
Jaeger.
might be against the state law.
that's open
I don't think that
That's
has
more of
anything
an
to do with
issue with
Uber.
open container.
Yeah, it's open container.
Yeah, I was trying to debate this. Maddie was like, bad idea, don't do it. But I'm like, hey, this is like enjoyable. They're going bar to bar and they want to shop.
Well, actually, I don't know. In Alabama, I don't know what the law is anymore. When I lived in Tennessee, still, you could have open container in the back seat.
I mean, I bet Uber would
What
probably
if we
frown.
keep it closed and I send you some trivia questions and we do it like Cash Cab?
Yeah, no, we talked about that. The reward would be I'll take some next round T-shirts.
Yeah.
You want to do it for a T-shirt?
Yeah, that's probably not good enough. We
Yeah.
should give them the T-shirt
I
anyway.
do like the T-shirts.
We need to work on a prize that we will give them if they can answer. Let's say that 5 questions, you get 3 of 5, you get something. Okay,
All right.
we'll workshop this.
Yeah. I'll come up with a list of questions.
But I've got, the older we get, the more boring we get, and people don't like to get out on Friday nights. So I've got a handful of friends that they're so pumped about this. They're like, I'm sitting back mixing a cocktail and just watching you and Brown go at it tonight.
Oh, boy. That's a lot of pressure. Well,
We'll
I
see.
hope it
I have no
works.
idea. This
I
is a
hope it
first for
works.
us.
Yes, it is a first. We're going to try this on the fly and hope it works. We have determined this is the best legal way. A lot of you wanted something different, but legal just would not allow us to do it. This is the best legal way to bring you the content in the best way we hope it works. I don't know how else to say it. That really didn't make sense, so I probably should say it better. I don't care if somebody wears
This
the number
is what
5.
you're getting.
It's what you're getting,
It
yes.
is the best we can do.
It could end up being great and really entertaining,
be.
or it could be every
Complete
fair I
failure.
pick up, they're like, I'm not going to give you permission to stream.
Yep, no idea. Could be.
And
which-
no co-pilot, just to
No,
clarify.
no, there is no
chat.
co-pilot. No, Maddie has done her duty already.
Yeah,
Well,
and
someone was offering up. So is there going to be a co-pilot besides Scott? And I'm like, I don't
No,
think Scott's
not
involved in
there.
that at
No,
all.
No, I'm
he
solo.
can't be.
This
By,
is solo.
by rule, he can't
Now,
be.
here's the thing that I don't have. Like all these Uber drivers, they've got something that puts the phone stationary.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have an Uber light, and I don't have that.
Yeah, I told him.
I would run by Best Buy or Target or
Yeah.
something and pick up a mount. They've
But I'm
got
gonna
like,
need 2
You're
though,
going to
right?
need 2 because
yeah.
one for the phone that will operate is the StreamYard camera.
But
yes.
then I got to be able to put the mount on.
Well,
This
again,
is
Maddie
just
is
headache
Maddie
after
is.
headache.
I would,
I mean, Lance, I think a 3-year-old could put the mount on.
It's a suction cup.
Yeah, it's a suction
you
cup.
can handle it.
Okay.
Yeah,
now-
you've used suction cups before. You can
Now,
handle
for
it.
the one that's going to be the actual StreamYard camera, I would recommend the vent clip one that also has the charger attached to it.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So that way we
Yeah.
don't lose
Okay.
power.
Well, let me cut out the middleman here, Tyler. Can you Google him and tell him where that can be bought? That's what he's going to want you to
Yeah,
do there
yeah,
a little bit later
I'll
on.
send you
Yeah.
some pictures
if
and
you'll-
Yeah,
and
please
links
do.
and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, Brown, are you and I, do we need to link up before to make sure like everything's ready to roll?
I mean, we'll link up a little before 8 and make
Okay.
sure. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, as long as you got cell coverage, which Dan in Lakeview,
Yeah.
you should have fine cell coverage.
Yeah,
Should
it'll be
be good.
fine.
Yeah, it should be fine. And
It'll
again,
definitely be better than when we tried to stream from my phone, me going through that haunted house with Jim.
oh yeah, we'll do
Hey,
that.
Mike, what do you think the chances I pick up a next round listener will be tonight?
Well, you hope it's only 5 fares. If 5 fares go well, you're off the hook, right?
Yeah.
That's our ruling there.
I would say 5%.
Yeah. I mean, Lakeview at 8 o'clock. I don't know.
Because I imagine there will be a decent amount of people there, but a lot of them are going to be like college age.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have experienced this. I don't take Ubers nearly like I used to.
No.
But, it used to be, 5, 6, 7 a month. And I would come across Uber drivers that listen to the show a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, if you don't want to take Uber and you just want to rent a car, you don't get to participate in our game, but you can rent a car. We recommend McCurry Van and Car Rentals. College football coming up, by the way. You're going to want those long road trips, one of those big vans. The 16-passenger van may work for you. You're going to a stadium somewhere in the southeast. You need a car, van, or truck. Rent from McCurry. McCurry Van and Car Rental, the local rental company you can depend on. All kinds of vehicles to choose from. That includes trucks, SUVs, passenger vans. Easy to rent, in and out fast. Locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest, and Skyland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa. Call in and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com.
Hey, and we want to remind you, Crane U, your all-in-one destination for crane certification success. They're going to guide you through every single step of the process, from the comprehensive prep both in and out of the classroom to ensure you are fully equipped for even the toughest exams. Then they will streamline your experience by administering both written and hands-on tests right there at their facility located in Leeds, Alabama, so you get certified with confidence and convenience. If you're curious about a career in the crane industry, the first big step is getting certified, becoming fully compliant. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. One call you make and you're good. Whether you talk to Nicole or Francis, tell them the next round sent you. For more information, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
Texas A&M has an alternate uniform. I will say this before we pile on. When Scott shows it to you, anytime, well, first of all, Texas A&M has a military background. So there is a military tie here. And anytime you go with the camo, and listen, I have a soft spot in my heart. I hope everyone does for the United States veteran and our active duty military. We are not a country without those people. They are what keep us free, and we owe an unpayable debt of gratitude to the United States veteran and the active duty military. So when people go to the camo, I'm hesitant to criticize it. With that disclaimer out of the way, I do not love these.
Okay.
But it's hard to match camo with anything other than other camo, and they try to match it with the maroon pants.
Yeah.
This is. I don't love it, but but they do have a military history.
No,
so.
I get that. I like the state of Texas patch on the arm, right?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I don't love the uniform.
I don't either. By the way, we've got way too much maroon in this conference.
We do.
Maroon is just not a good color to begin with.
State and A&M, they bring you a lot of maroon there. Arkansas does. Yeah, Alabama's at crimson, not quite to maroon.
Oklahoma's playing around with it a little bit.
They still call theirs crimson and cream, but you're right. That darker shade of red, whether it's maroon or crimson, gets a lot of it.
I'm going to be labeled, looking through crimson glasses. Alabama has the best red coloring in the conference.
You've always been a fan of their road white.
I have, but I mean, I think that red, even it's funny because I think it's less crimson and more red now. Would you agree?
If you go look at old Alabama, like Ray
crimson.
Perkins era on color TV, it was it was almost maroon.
Yeah.
It was a dark crimson. Nike, I think a lot of people will tell you Nike has lightened it a little bit.
I think the Alabama red is closer to the Georgia red than it is the maroon.
I would tend to
A&M.
agree with you. I think Nike probably has lightened Alabama's crimson. Now, I know there's the what's the color thing called? The color number?
PMI or
what's it called?
PMI.
That's something else.
Brooks can tell us. Brooks, the color number.
You got the hex codes, and then you've got RGB, Pantones.
Pantone, yeah. Those numbers. That's why I'm sure Alabama's got one that this is our official. I know they do. I'm not sure they do. They 100% do. This is our official crimson color, and this is the one you use. But it is not the same one as it was in the early 80s. I can promise you that. I'll tell you what the early 80s look like. The early 80s Alabama uniforms look like their current one in a rain game, and it had just gotten soaked and turned darker. That's what the old 80s ones look like.
One of the first things, Google the image of color code finder for Alabama football.
Yeah, what'd you come up with?
The Pantone colors are PMS is what I was looking for.
Yes.
201C.
201C.
For the crimson and PMS 430C for the gray.
Okay. Well, you don't see the gray a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just in some of their
And
alternate.
the hex code is 9E1B32.
Okay, very important.
How many
Thank
people
you.
are at Home
Yes.
Depot this weekend getting ready to paint that new man cave?
You got any hex code 9B1E32?
Well, hell yeah, we do. We've had that brewed up for years.
Yeah, I'm going to need 12 gallons is what I'm going to need.
Hey, it's very important if you do any color correction on the computer.
Yeah,
if you're
I
going to do
used
it,
to
do
know
it
that
right.
one off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so Forster's got them pulled there. The primary colors.
Yeah.
Alabama football. I mean, if you're going to do it right.
No, absolutely.
I will say of all the SEC schools, the closest from the hex code standpoint, to the point where I almost can't tell if I have their logos right beside each other, which is a lot because alphabetically Alabama and Arkansas are directly next to each other when I make the graphics alphabetically for the SEC. Almost no difference at all in the hex codes. They're very
Yeah,
similar
you're right.
colors.
Arkansas does have more of a red, too. You know, the only compliment Brown gave me, I think, on the course
Only
yesterday
compliment, the only one,
was how good my putter grip
You
looked.
got the rims grip on your putter.
But
Yep.
you did say, man, that's
It's
a
good. It was.
good-looking
It was
grip.
a good-looking grip. I
Yeah.
like it. And you said you've got a new putter, which is the hottest putter on the PGA Tour right now. And I was making you were struggling to putt yesterday because you don't play a whole lot. And you said I'll 3-putt every time I'll take a 3-putt every time before I ever go away from this putter. Like if I gave you a putter that made everything, but it wasn't the Rams putter.
Yeah, we decided to, I can't. I sat out the first 9. There was no beer. There was no gambling. And at the turn, I was like, hey, we got to amp this up a little bit. And I decided to challenge Brown on the best round I have ever seen him play. You carded a 34 on the front 9, and what did you go on the back?
34. I had a 68 yesterday.
Yeah. And of course, I'm betting against him out there. The guy that is probably a 28 handicap. I am playing a lot more bogey golf.
You are.
And I've only played, again, twice in a year.
Yeah.
But I go out there, and I start cussing at the Ram putter. I'm like, you got to do something for me.
That's right.
And
Getting on the putter.
I make like a 25, 30 footer. It was an
Drained
incredible
it
putt.
for a par. Incredible par.
Yeah, and then Brown turns around and drains it before we push out.
For a birdie.
Oh, yeah, birdie.
Yeah,
He
it was
actually
a
beat
birdie
on
for
that
me,
one.
but you were getting a shot, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I couldn't give you a shot a hole because last time we went out and played, I gave you a shot a hole, and you beat me.
You got to get Hammond's cane for your head cover.
These
What in the
released
world are these?
right.
That's your Jurassic Park.
Right when you started watching the movie, actually, like that week, these released, and
These
yeah,
head
I think
covers?
these head covers.
There's zero chance I'll ever have one of those head
You
covers.
don't want the Dilophosaurus that killed Wayne Knight?
I do not.
I like the Hammond's cane.
Yeah, that one's cool.
You have to be a Jurassic Park nerd to be able to pull that
I
out.
had no clue what those were. Now, the Wayne
what
Knight
about
one's
the
pretty
Wayne
good.
Knight one?
Yeah, that's the best one that I see up there, but still not going to have it. I mean, I got a Miami Dolphins head cover. I got the Great Dan Marino head cover, which gets more comments than almost anything. Like people see that Dan Marino head cover.
Now,
I think the Dilophosaurus could take out Dan Marino.
Probably. Is it in the postseason? Yes, he could.
I'm sure it's for the protection of the club, but is it another one of the unwritten golf rules that every time you take the head cover off, you're supposed to put it back on? Because I just take them all off and throw them in the back of the cart and leave them for the rest of the round.
No, I mean, I know people that do that. But yeah, it is try to keep the club from getting scuffed up
Okay.
because you don't want the top to get scuffed up and look bad. But if you don't care about that, no, it's fine. You were using somebody else's clubs yesterday.
Hey,
so
for first hole, I putted with plastic on the spider,
He
didn't
did. Lance had gotten it straight from the store, not even taking the plastic off. I was like, "Oh, you got your new putter?" He goes, "Yep, still got the plastic on it." Bonk.
Yeah, won't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's do 4 downs presented each day by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. You ride the roads of Alabama and you see all the road work being done, whether it's a federal project, state project, a local project. There's a good chance it's our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction doing those projects, but it doesn't mean they don't have time for your smaller project, a parking pad, a driveway at your home, maybe a parking lot at a church or a community center or something like that. An entire division dedicated to just those jobs, and it's the same quality, same no excuse standards that you see on those bigger roadway jobs. For an estimate, give them a call, 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Okay, because I asked this earlier in the show and Ian Fitzsimmons from ESPN Radio joined us, the combination of Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, or the combination. So I'll go national championship. I'm going to do it a little bit different. A national championship from one of those 3 Texas schools, or a conference championship from either Miami, Florida, Florida State.
A national championship versus a conference championship. See, conference championship for Miami, though, they're
favored to do it this year.
Though I still like our pathway for them to completely miss it. I think that's a likely pathway that I gave you. Clemson gets that win. SMU beats Florida State. SMU beats Louisville. Or even if SMU loses to Louisville, they're a one-loss team and they win some sort of weird tiebreaker. Now, the tiebreakers are probably going to benefit Miami because Brooks, correct me if I'm wrong, the tiebreakers, Brooks, they were set up to benefit the team that has the best chance of making the playoffs, right? In the ACC?
Yeah, I still haven't seen exactly what the breakdown on it is, but it's supposed to kind of like favor. It's kind of similar to like the old Big 12 tiebreaker where it was the team with the highest BCS ranking.
It's going to favor the team that is most likely to make the playoffs. So because of that, I'll go Miami winning a conference championship first. But it is crazy how high the expectations are at the same time for Texas, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech. I mean, Texas is definitely national championship or bust, and A&M and Texas Tech are approaching it right now.
Yeah, I think I would go Texas here, but again, it's Sark. I feel like Elko's the best of the coaches.
Yeah.
But it just seems like Texas is primed and ready to roll this year.
Second down.
Ole Miss, our 40-40 team. If I ask you, with all seriousness, who's going to be at their current job longer, Pete Golding or Lane Kiffin?
I will go Lane Kiffin. I like Pete. I am pulling for Pete to do well. And it's not that I doubt Pete, but it's that he is following what we have just said. He is following the greatest run of Ole Miss football in our lifetime. So how do you take that to the next level?
Well, let me ask you this. What has to happen for that to happen? Let's say in 5 years, Pete Golding is still the head coach in Oxford and Lane Kiffin has been fired.
Well, let me just paint this for you. Let's say 7-5 this year. All right. Now, already you're a little bit behind the 8 ball.
For who?
Right.
I mean, both it's on the table.
No, I'm going for Golding. I'm strictly talking Golding here. 7-5 this year. Next year, you're 9-3. That's an improvement of 2 games, which is hard to do in the SEC, but you still miss the playoffs.
He's saved his job, though, with 9-3.
He's safe, but I think he's playoff or bust probably year 3.
Yeah, but if you were going to tell me 7-5 this year, 7-5 next year, I think he's out.
I think he could be, and that's on the table.
But
I don't think Kiffin will be out that quick, not in 2 years.
Brian Kelly, though.
I know.
Like, those were not bad numbers he was putting up. If Kiffin went 8-4, which is very, very much on the table this year with that schedule, and then Kiffin went 9-3, he would be in the same situation as Golding.
I don't disagree.
3.
I don't think there's a
But
2 year.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Kiffin, but I hope I'm wrong.
Third down.
Halle Berry, 61 years old today.
I saw her randomly on Twitter this morning.
Probably because of that. Mila Kunis, 44, in their prime. Halle Berry, Mila Kunis.
It's a tough one. I was a big Halle Berry fan, though. I'm going to go Halle Berry in her prime over Mila Kunis.
I think
I don't think you can go wrong, though.
I think I would lean Halle Berry, too, but boy, this one's tight.
What would you say? Some would say Swordfish, you disagree. Halle Berry's prime, like the movie where that is prime.
I'll tell you, the first time I ever saw her was in Boomerang in the theater in like 92, and I was like, damn, who is this?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know who she was. So from her being really, really young, so that was 35 years ago. So at that point, she was 26.
Yeah. Always been a big Halle Berry fan. I'll take her. Tyler seemed to disagree with me then when I said Halle Berry, and then you jumped in on.
I got a screenshot of Tyler yesterday, a buddy. By the way, you got a lot of fans out there, Tyler.
Oh, man.
I had a buddy of mine sent me best part of the next round yesterday, and it was Tyler talking about, oh my God, whose girlfriend was it? That social media influencer.
Oh, it was Shane Gillis, ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, but they zoomed up on Tyler, like looking at her, and he's like, "Oh yeah." And I forgot what your comment was.
Yeah, you discovered her, right?
He called it horn dog Tyler.
I've always been a Mila Kunis fan.
I mean, again, you can't go wrong on this one, but
There's no wrong answer.
There is no wrong answer, but I would go Halle Berry.
4th down.
Heavyweight battle. I've got to see where you guys go on this. Magic Johnson, 68. Ultimately, better career, Nick Saban or Magic Johnson? This is not even close, but I want to see what you guys say.
Overall, better career?
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Saban is the best to have done it.
Yep.
As a businessman, has the opportunity to be as successful as Magic Johnson.
Oh, I don't know about
No, he does.
I don't know about that.
I mean, how much has Magic Johnson made?
Oh, Magic's probably worth $2 billion.
I mean, there was literally an article not long ago that was entitled "The Man That Will Make Nick Saban a Billionaire." So Saban's at least going to reach one.
Theaters, Magic's, ownership of part of the Lakers and the Dodgers. Magic's net worth.
Nick Saban's part owner of the Predators.
Yeah, but like just Magic's impact. I'm not discounting. Nick Saban is the best college football coach of all time.
Magic Johnson net worth $1.6 billion.
I don't know that Saban can get to that point, but I mean, literally the article, I think it was Forbes magazine. I can't remember the magazine. The man that will make Nick Saban a billionaire in the automotive industry. So, I mean, there is a chance that Saban at least crosses the $1 billion mark. So, I mean, stop and think about that for a moment. A college football coach that's the best that's ever done it, that on the business side could also make $1 billion.
Yeah, but Magic Johnson didn't make a ton in his playing career.
He did
for
not.
him to be able to go out like. And this is not taking anything away. I mean, obviously, he's got a great business acumen. Nick Saban does. But all of these business people wanted him to be involved. And so.
Both of them, Magic and Saban.
Yeah, I'm sure. But Magic, it just seems like the path of an 80s basketball player to create some of the media, things that he did and to be able to take it to $1 billion.
I mean, Magic only got a chance to buy part of the Dodgers because he's a great face.
And he had money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, he doesn't just buy the Dodgers because he's a great businessman. They're like, oh, we need Magic's mind in the Dodgers. They didn't need that. The Dodgers didn't need Magic Johnson's brain in there. They did it because he's Magic freaking Johnson.
But just business aspect
both of them, their business is both because of what they did athletically. If they didn't do it athletically, they wouldn't have these business arrangements, either one of them. Now, will Magic eventually make more than Saban? Probably so.
I just thought Magic was the best point guard of all time.
I would say if you take business out of this, in sports, it's Nick Saban.
If you take business and sports
No. If you take the business out and go sports only, just their athletic accomplishments, it's Nick Saban.
I disagree. National championship at Michigan State. They've had one since. I forgot how many he had with the Lakers, 4 or 5.
I still say it's Nick Saban. Dominated college football for a good 20 years.
I mean, does anybody in the back room agree with that?
It's really hard. I'm actually leaning Magic because of you mentioned all that stuff, and then the cultural impact of being on the Dream Team too.
And he was the first to shake AIDS. I mean, he really was.
Well, that's not sports. I said sports only. We can't.
Okay.
We can't.
I mean, that just speaks to how hard it is to guard him.
5 NBA championships, by the way.
He's elusive.
Wow.
I know where Scott is. I don't even need to ask Scott on
Scott,
this.
where are you? I'll ask
Magic.
you. Yeah. I say if you go sports versus sports, it's Nick Saban. He's the best that ever did it. And now Magic's the best point guard. And you can make an argument the best guy ever to play in the NBA. That's Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
it's Michael Jordan, but you could say
but
it's
I think
Magic.
he's a top 5 guy
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, you've got an argument, at least if you say Magic. The answer is Michael Jordan, but you could argue for Magic.
Hey, you know who else's birthday today? 40 years old. Tim Tebow is 40 today. Remember when 40 used to
40?
When 40 used to seem so old?
Crazy, yeah. And
that doesn't even seem right.
And he didn't even make 4 downs at age 40.
It really doesn't. But Brooks' last national championship was 18 years ago.
No, I mean, but I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, shit, I'm 33. So.
I know, that's right. Old fart. That is 4 downs. We've got trash coming up and the college football spotlight. More from Kalen DeBoer post-Alabama scrimmage. If you're looking for a bank, though, that is large enough to meet every single need you have, but small enough to know you, you're going to want to deal with a community bank, and that is going to be Central State Bank. Central State Bank in your community right there. 6 locations throughout Central Alabama. They are there to help you. And the people that are making the decisions that are going to impact your life, it's people that you see in the grocery stores. They go to your churches. Their kids go to school with your kids. They're at the ballpark with your kids. That's what you get with a community bank, and it's what you get with Central State Bank. Large enough to meet every need you have, small enough to know you. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical office, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champy'schicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA and enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. All right, again, if you were not with us earlier, let's promote 2 things here. Number 1, our 5th anniversary kickoff party is going to be at Walk-On's Highway 280 That's the Tattersall Park location, and it is 1 week from yesterday. 2 weeks, I'm sorry, 2 weeks from yesterday. 13 days from today. 2 weeks from yesterday, it is our kickoff party. We'll start around 5 o'clock and go until you are done. It is the 5th anniversary kickoff party right there at Walk-Ons, Tattersall Park, Highway 280. We can't wait for that. Number 2, tonight, sometime around 8 o'clock, set your alerts so you know when we're live. Lance is on live stream going to pay off his bracket bet. He's going to do Ubers, and hopefully in the span of 2 hours or before Lance is canceled by Uber, we are able to get 5 live rides of Lance interviewing somebody in the Uber.
Do you think that is, I mean, what is more likely to happen, that I get 5 rides documented or I get fired first?
I think more likely you get fired first. I don't know. Tyler will know how quick this could go, but if you get enough people complaining to Uber that a guy picked them up and asked if he could stream their ride live, how quick will Uber shut Lance down?
Handed me some aftershock or some Jägermeister.
I mean, seriously though, just
handed me a Four Loko when I got in the car.
All right, all that aside, just hey, would you mind if we live streamed on our sports platform?
I mean, if we're getting permission, then there won't be a report.
No.
For the people who aren't cool with it,
that's right, and they start complaining. How many complaints will it take for Uber to can Lance tonight?
I mean, it depends. There's people who take people to the wrong spot that are still on the app.
I mean, I would say what you're doing is less than that.
Delivery drivers who steal the food
I mean,
still
my
on
gosh.
the apps.
Yeah.
So
come on.
But then they also like to ban people first time for little stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
I wonder how many Uber drivers there are just in the United States. There's got to be millions, right?
Let's see.
And I think that's a fair number. Would you go 7 figures or under?
Of what?
Uber drivers in America.
7 figures. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Approximately 1 million in the U.S.
Are you kidding me?
And 10 million globally.
Yeah, they can't keep up with what's going on. You'll skate right through tonight, right under the wire. All right, let's hit that spotlight, Tyler. The college football spotlight. We do it every single day on the show. Go.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by our guy, Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys, Birmingham guy, Alexander Shunnarah. And when it came time to build his practice, he wanted to do it right here in Birmingham, his hometown. He's done just that. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. He's taking care of his community. You find yourself in any legal situation, Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys, there to help you out. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. As we speak live, as we're doing the show live here, we're live every day 9 to noon. Auburn is undergoing their first scrimmage of the fall camp. Alabama had theirs yesterday. If you weren't with us earlier, we talked some about the A.K. Deer injury that is still up in the air, the fact that Crowell appears okay. He was held out of the scrimmage, but as Kalen DeBoer said, just a couple of days, probably will not miss a game, he said. So let's talk more about the scrimmage aside from the injuries. Here's what Kalen DeBoer said, just his overall cut to Tyler, his overall thoughts on yesterday's scrimmage.
Yeah, it was good to get the guys a lot of reps. Defense did a nice job coming out, setting the tone. Could execute a little bit better offensively, but led to a couple of takeaways. And that's always great to see because they were advantageous. You guys making plays. Love to see that. And then the offense did a nice job of just slowly responding, coming back. And as the scrimmage went on, it became very balanced. So just great learning moments. We always want to take that from any practice, but a scrimmage is about as game-like as we're going to get. So a lot to learn from, and I know our guys are going to keep working.
There again, if you weren't with us earlier, we talked about the fact that the units he specifically called out, linebackers, secondary, and defensive line. And then you hear him talk there. It does sound like a defensive scrimmage there, a defense-dominated scrimmage. And again, you never know if it's ones on ones, twos on twos, ones on twos, whatever. No stats were put out either, so you don't know, but it did sound like the defense was the highlight.
Yeah, you can't deny on paper that year 1 to year 2 wasn't an improvement. It was.
Yeah.
But 4 losses year 1, 4 losses last year. You know, we used to make fun of Gus Malzahn because he was 4 or 5 losses every year.
Yeah, I know.
If DeBoer, would you go more likely 4 losses or not this year?
I would go not because I'm high on Alabama this year.
But, I mean, still, that's only – you know, whether it's 9-3 in the regular season or 10-2 getting to the college football playoff. I mean, if you're 10-2, you get to the college football playoff, but you don't win the SEC or you don't win the national championship, you've got 4 losses.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get back to the SEC championship game.
Yeah, when you say 4 losses, I wasn't considering also a playoff loss counting as one of those as it did last year. I didn't think far enough ahead on that one, but you lose the SEC championship game and a playoff game. You know, that's a 2-loss season that turned into a 4-loss season because you were successful enough to be in the postseason.
I think Kalen's in the same spot, at least perceptionally, if they lose the SEC championship game and in the playoffs.
Yeah,
again.
I agree with you. With that said, had they won the SEC championship, they wouldn't have run into Indiana that quickly, I don't think. I don't think they'd have been in the Rose Bowl against Indiana. But they also wouldn't have gone on the road against Oklahoma. So you don't have the play. You may not have the playoff win there. I don't know exactly how it would have shaken out.
Do you think it's easier to find 9-3 or 11-1 on Bama's schedule?
I mean, I guess it would have shaken out. You played Ole Miss. I mean, that's who Georgia ended up playing. So it could have been Bama, Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, look, it would have been an easier draw, but at the same time, Ole Miss was hot as a firecracker.
Yeah. Do I what now?
Better chance of 9-3 regular season or 11-1. I mean, what's easier to find?
Probably 9-3. Yeah. I think they'll be 10-2, but probably 9-3.
But yeah, I think 10-2.
Well, one of the ways to answer that question as you look at the schedule there, I mean, you just start counting losses. I mean, again, it's that stretch right there that's got Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, LSU.
You go 2-2 in that stretch. You've got to win the bookends, but I think you are 10-2.
One of the things that will help determine that is quarterback play, and of course, after a scrimmage, Kalen DeBoer is going to be asked about that.
Do you have an update on AK Deer and EJ Crowell?
Oh, nope, no, not that one. Did I give you the wrong one? Cut 4. Cut 4. All right, here he is talking about the quarterbacks.
How did Austin and Keelan perform in the scrimmage today, and maybe what impact did it have on the battle between those two?
As the scrimmage went on, they both got better. Both had their moments early where they could have executed better. They could use some help from some guys once in a while. They're not going to be perfect all the time. Operationally, I just think again, it's them running the show, but everyone doing their part. And so the slow start really wasn't about one player, one position group, but both of them really, as the scrimmage went along, got in their rhythm. And so the challenge to them now will just be starting faster every single time we have these game-like scrimmages and practices coming out and setting the tone themselves.
To be fair on the defense, maybe creating some turnovers, DeBoer did say one of the passes was tipped. Now, you don't know, is that tipped at the line, tipped by a linebacker, tipped by a DB? Did it go off a receiver's hands? So that might not entirely be on the quarterback.
So we are 22 days away from Alabama kicking against East Carolina. We're 15 days away from the kick of college football season. Do you think we know in 15 days who the starting quarterback is?
I think, Ryan Grubb was asked, do you need scrimmages? And he essentially kind of hinted that I need 2 scrimmages. He didn't out and out say that, but he kind of hinted he'll need 2 scrimmages. I think after the second scrimmage, which should be next week, you got 2 weeks till game week. I think you'll know by then. Now, let me say, maybe they know and it's not announced, but I think the starter will be selected by then. You may not announce it until game week when they do the depth chart. But I don't know. I mean, this staff has been pretty open about that kind of thing.
What are the chances that you have multiple quarterbacks get multiple starts?
I think it's kind of low. I think once they pick one guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I don't think it would be a good thing, but you look at Ole Miss last year, you had multiple guys that got multiple starts, and they made that incredible run.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just because you have to start 2 guys. One of those guys now at Missouri. All right, Hemp Hill Services brings you Lance's Lock and brings you part of the show here today, too.
Hey, never ideal if something breaks down in your home or business, whether it's something related to the plumbing, the heating, the cooling. The good news is you've got the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 behind you with our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. They are going to hook you up, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And NASCAR is coming back to the Talladega Superspeedway for the Yellowwood 500 weekend. Get your spot now for the race, which is Friday, October 23rd, Saturday, October 24th, and Sunday, October 25th. You can find your spot in the grandstand, in the campground, in the infield, and enhance your race weekend with that garage experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. You can do all of that right there at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or by calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Like, okay, now I got to finish. And finishing on a guy that size is harder than you think.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. You're going to be drinking the Bud Light Decide to Ride tonight, maybe with an Uber.
That's right, especially if you're near Lakeview.
We start first. A YouTuber has gone viral after raiding what he claimed was an Indian scam call center with an army of dancing SpongeBobs. This is Justin Ho, 23 years old, entered the Delhi office on August 7th, accompanied by 6 people wearing oversized SpongeBob SquarePants costumes. Now, the clip began with Ho holding a boombox, announcing that the group is about to, quote, raid a call center in India. Moments later, SpongeBob's burst into the office, began dancing around employees as music blasts from the speaker. Now, security guards eventually intervene, attempt to drive the group out with sticks. However, the costumes appear to absorb the blows as the SpongeBobs surround the guards and continue causing chaos.
Looks fake.
Video has quickly passed 1.7 million Instagram views.
Yeah, it looks fake to me. I don't buy the security
I know
guards.
Jim's on vacation, but
It's
do you
very
have
fake.
a reason that you think it's fake?
The security guards don't look. You've got a lot of different camera angles, so it's a multi-camera shoot.
I mean, go back to the security guard fight.
Yeah.
I am firing him immediately if he's legitimate. Like that, those guys should be able to take down any of
That's
these
right.
SpongeBobs.
Yeah, he's just beating it, on the cushy part with a stick.
Yeah, this
and
is
then
not
coming
real.
up in a second. Look at this camera angle we're about to have. Now we're up on a different angle. Now we're going to be back down. I mean,
and that's
is it that crazy that a YouTuber hires a camera guy?
Yeah,
and then hires a
two
set-
camera guys.
Yeah, that's
we got a
not that
multi-camera
crazy.
shoot, and they get in this building. No, I don't believe.
Well, I mean, what's he going to make on 1.7 million Instagram views?
I mean,
decent amount.
that's a good amount.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I bet that piping or whatever, it's not a stick. I bet it's hollow. Because, if he's true, you don't hit the guy in the collar. You go right for the
hit
kneecap.
his knees. Yeah, hit his knees. Yeah,
It's
don't
so
believe
obvious.
Don't believe it.
It's not true. Next, passengers on a China Southern Airlines flight allegedly found themselves in mid-air emergency after the cabin crew served prune juice to more than 100 travelers sharing just 2 toilets.
Oh. Well, how quick does prune juice work?
Apparently pretty quick. One passenger said he mistook the drink for ordinary grape juice. Finished the whole thing before realizing what he had consumed. By then, the drink services were already going straight through some of the travelers with long lines allegedly forming outside of both bathrooms. Juice packs reportedly resembled other fruit drinks and did not include a warning about their potential laxative effects.
Brown, why don't you do a prune juice transfusion on the golf course?
I am going to pass. I am going to pass on that. I don't know that I've ever had prune juice. What does it taste like?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Does it taste like grape juice?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Has anybody ever had it?
My late grandfather would. He had he had a lot of prune-related items.
Yeah. So he was backed up.
I don't know if he enjoyed the taste or if he was having issues and needed the effect.
Well, it just sounds bad, but I don't know if it sounds bad because I know it cleans you out.
It looks like it would taste like shit. I know ultimately that's what it leads to.
That's what it handles.
What it looks like.
Yeah. I would not think that you could drink a box of prune juice in a flight and then have to go take a crap 30 minutes later. I bet. In fact, and I am no doctor, I did not go to medical school at Jacksonville State, but I bet prune juice is one of those things you have to drink it consistently to get the effect. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Like you gotta be drinking it every day for that to work.
Prune juice tastes very sweet, thick, and rich. It has a deep, fruity flavor that tastes like dried plums, raisins, or dates, with dark notes like caramel and honey. It also feels very smooth and heavy in your mouth.
Interesting.
Okay. It sounds like some red blends that are not, a non-alcoholic red blend, but
it takes 1 to 3 hours to work. Though it can take anywhere from a few hours up to 24 hours, depending on your body and how severe your constipation is.
That's right.
Are you calling another fake story
No,
here?
I mean, I think this could be right. I don't know how long the flight was. I don't know how long the flight was.
I saw this go viral the other day. A video of Shake Shack's self-service kiosk charging customers more for not tipping has gone viral on social media, with some looking for answers. This is pretty incredible. And if it is legit, I didn't know if it was legit or not because the robot,
we
the
got
AI,
video.
they fake me out all the time.
Yeah.
I would never eat at this place again if it is legit.
Is this where Brad Pitt was?
So, like...
Tyler quotes that one for you quick.
There's look.
Brad Pitt. Was it Brad Pitt that was supposedly?
Yeah, blacked out and gambling on Little League.
That he was blacked out at a Chili's.
Yeah. What, Shake Shack?
Betting on Little League.
So this is annoying that every single time you go in a restaurant, not only do you have the touchscreen kiosk, you're asked how much you're going to tip at the end, but in this video posted by this dude on TikTok, they had 3 milkshakes on their order, with regular shakes costing $5.99 and another one customized for $6.48. Now, as they refused to add a tip, they were told the total had changed. There had been a pricing update on one or more of the card items. The screen said before $5.99 shakes increased to $6.49, and the other increased in price to $6.98. Now, he says in the video, quote, everything just went up 50 cents. Every item went up 50 cents, just making sure that everybody knows this. Now, Shake Shack responded by saying, quote, it is not the Shake Shack policy nor that of our licensees to increase the price of menu items when a tip is not added. The pricing issue shared online occurred at an airport shack that is owned and operated by a different licensee. They have
changed the price.
Informed them, and the issue has been resolved according to
So basically,
Shake Shack.
Shake Shack said, not us, somebody else. Our restaurant, but we don't run
But
it.
even if you went old school office space, if you had a enterprise like a Shake Shack that was just rolling up a cent on everybody, nobody would notice
Nobody
that.
would know.
And you think about the astronomical money they can make at the end of the year with just rolling up a cent.
What movie was it where there was like a hacker and his big plan was to take like a
Office Space.
What is it? Office
Yeah.
Space? Okay.
Yeah, when they decided that the 2000, when we were rolling over, because they were working on that sophomore, and they were like, if we just do pennies on the dollar, and the next thing they know, they're like, holy shit, look how much is in our account. And then Milton got them off the hook by burning down the building, remember?
Yeah.
But I got to say, for me, I probably never catch this. When it says pricing update, I would have just hit okay and go to checkout.
I would too, and that's what's scary about this,
I know.
right?
I would not have paid close enough attention.
Yeah, but out of principle, it might only be 50 cents, but that's complete horseshit.
Well, it is, but I wouldn't have caught it.
I wouldn't have.
I would have just, I'd have had my milkshakes heading back to my gate.
Finally, Washington, D.C. commuters faced nearly 2 hours of disruption after an abandoned electronic device triggered a response from a bomb squad before turning out to be an adult toy.
Oh, no.
Eyewitnesses saw a man place a package in the trash near the fire station on Wisconsin Avenue on the morning of August 12th. According to the incident report obtained by Fox 5, the object was a, quote, blue and black electronic device with exposed wires. Now, this prompted authorities to close part of the road while they determined whether the object posed a threat to the public. Metropolitan Police Department's bomb squad and K-9 unit were brought in with traffic stopped in both directions for almost 2 hours as this investigation took place. Eventually, officers gave the all-clear, road reopened. It was only after the device had been examined that it became clear the device was actually perfectly safe, removed from the scene. In the incident report, the police described what they found as a, quote, electric sex portable pump device.
Portable pump device.
Yeah, they actually online.
In case you need one on the go, you know.
Yeah, you never know.
Once these images were put out there, everybody online turned this into the object in question is actually a Zolo Blowbot, an adult toy that sells for around $350.
Yeah, I was gonna include another picture of like the item in question, and it just looked way too lewd.
Not suitable for work, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not.
You stick your wiener in this thing
you
right
did
here.
not have to explain it to me, Tyler. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, Brown. Yes. We played golf yesterday, and I'm not gonna. You see that rough behind it? Like, I'm not even sticking my hand in that to pick up a ball. I ain't sticking my meat in that canister.
Negative,
man.
no. Yeah,
that's all I got.
That one is not lightly used either. That one has been.
Lance has been worried about the robots. It was the blowbots. He should have been worried about the whole time.
That's right.
Not worried about the blowbots.
That is trash. Presented by Bud Light. This hour, as always, presented by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Open all weekend long. They're open for lunch right now. Go get those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, those great chicken fingers, the sides. Megan slinging those drinks right there. Go see Sterling and our friends at Champy's, Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com. After last night, there have been 36 quarterbacks in the NFL preseason, according to Pro Football Focus. 36 quarterbacks have played in the NFL preseason after last night. The 27.2 passer grade of this quarterback is the worst of all 36. Cam Ward.
Wow.
5 of 12, 57 yards, and a passing grade of 27.2, 36 out of 36.
That's pretty
in
crazy.
In the PFF stats.
You think about Anthony Richardson turns it over multiple times last night. Luke Altmaier turns it over multiple times. Guys like Drew Aller looked really good. Carson Beck, last week looked really good.
Yeah. Tonight you got Panthers-Bills. That is actually Saturday. Excuse me. I was giving you the wrong games. Tonight you've got Broncos-Falcons. That is on ESPN Unlimited, so you can stream that one from Atlanta. The Broncos, a 3.5-point road favorite What are the Falcons doing at quarterback tonight? Do you know? Is it going to be either Tua or Penix, or are they just going to bubble wrap everybody?
I think Tua is going to play tonight.
Tua's playing tonight?
Yeah.
But Denver's still a road favorite in that one. Dunaway's Bucks at the Jets tonight. The Jets, a 6.5-point home favorite. That is the NFL Network game tonight. And then my Dolphins are at the Commanders tonight. Miami, a 3.5-point road favorite, playing at the Commanders. I don't think Daniels is wearing his number 5 tonight.
Yeah, the interesting thing for Miami is you've got to identify a number 1 option at wide receiver.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
it's not a prolific group.
And I don't know who that guy's going to be.
Tutu Atwell, you saw him play.
He can fly.
He can fly.
He is 5'2", 90 pounds.
It's not him. I don't expect it. I mean,
it's just amazing that Miami is in the situation they're in. Tua at one point over the last 3 years, I think he was the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Was the leading passer in the league.
You had a duo in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle that you could match up with any other duo in the NFL.
As good a 1-2 punch at receiver as anybody had.
That's why, on the surface, it looks like, you could make the argument, one way for Arizona, although I start to look at what Jeremiah Love looked like last night with Trey McBride, with Marvin Harrison Jr., you get a quarterback that is actually somewhat efficient. Like, to me, the Dolphins are going to be the worst team in the NFL.
I mean, I agree with you. I think they'll be picking first, which makes it all that much stranger that they went out and got Malik Willis. You're picking first. I mean, maybe Malik Willis kills it. I don't know.
But maybe Arch is that good, and maybe you pick first and you get Arch. You got another Dan Marino.
That's right. You got a rookie contract, and you got Malik Willis. Who knows? All right, that's going to do it for the show. Again, set your alerts. We're going to try to pull this off at 8 o'clock tonight. Lance Ubering live on our platform here. So set your alerts. It'll be, assuming we don't get shut down, it'll be also available on demand if you miss it.
And go easy on me, right? First time Uber driver.
Yeah, first time Uber driver. I'm just a caveman.
This is, one of those questions everybody's like, is it really a $250 fine if somebody throws up in your car? Boy, I hope I don't have to figure that out.
God, you don't want to clean that up. That's going to do it for the week. We appreciate you joining us. Go to Next Round Live. Look at everything we've done this week. The Next Reel, Last Call, OG Kickoff, all that right there along with our show.
Out now.
Just came out. Just came out. Mick and Jake just dropped one hot, so you can go get that at Next Round Live. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 9 o'clock.